Welcome in to another Tuesday night evening blend. I am Pop Blender, and with me, as always, is Matthew Matson on a Tuesday night, and we're going full screen right off the get go. I'm jealous. I do have Dawn, but I am jealous. I love it. Love it, man. Everybody knows what those are. There's no explanation needed, right? How do you feel about Hydro Viper?
This and you probably can't see it, won't focus, but that's creepy as hell. So's this. I do. I mean, like everybody said, I wish he had another hand.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but
agreed.
but at the same time, I mean, this is Hydro Viper. He's he's creepy and
Looks
it's
great.
awesome. You know, this guy's a little weak, but
Yeah, yeah, I'd say that's is that the new creature from the Black Lagoon? it
there you
it
go,
does
right
it is
there.
reminiscent, right? I
Yeah.
agree with the extra hand. We did get the actually I meant to bring it up the reveal.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what to think about that. Um,
I
let me
mean,
know.
I
It,
said you give him a microphone and a electric guitar and he would fit better.
it's
I'm
so
just
weird.
yeah.
I don't get it. Honestly, now I am gonna preempt and tell you guys. Oh, that looks great. And actually, here I'm just gonna put that up there again, man. I want to see that. Oh yeah, lovely. Damn, that looks good. I am gonna go ahead and put it out there. I have been having internet issues all afternoon, and I mean terribly bad internet issues. I'm hoping I don't cut out. I don't know what the deal is. What is that from, by the way, Matthew? The fire.
Uh, a accessory I bought online.
Oh, sweet. Mother Slug was
Um,
asking, so that's why.
oh yeah. I'd have to go look at it, but they did. I don't have any set up to light right now, but um, little torches that
Nice.
light up, and I mean no wire, so it's all encased in there. And then little candelabra.
Nice. Damn, that looks great.
Yes.
Where'd you get them online? Just
Um,
usual
I'd
suspects? Like,
no, I mean I'd have to go
okay, all good.
um look it up. There's plastic something or other.
No worries, man. If you remember it, feel free.
Yeah.
But yeah, nonetheless, just to let everybody know, if there's any hitching or anything like that, it's definitely on my end, and hopefully it'll stay good. I've spent a
E-
considerable amount of time this afternoon trying to get it going.
yeah, Imaginary Action Studios is
Oh,
is where
cool.
it came
Okay.
from. So
Imaginary
they've
Action
got
Studios.
three different themes, and then they have torches, candelabras, and these types of things, in all in those three different themes.
Um, I'm sure a lot of people here will be interested, obviously. And then, hey, coming up, Joe Fest this weekend. Might see some accessories there. Might see some stuff there. I may send you some pictures.
Yeah.
Let me know if anything tickles your fancy. Um, so anyway, all right. So we're gonna get down to business because, like I said, I want to make sure this connection stays good, and hopefully it will. But I want to get into the numbers because I want to get into your review of Toy Story 5. I know you got a chance to see it. I did not get a chance to see Toy Story 5, but I did get a chance to see House of the Dragon, season 3, and then another show that you had talked about a little while back that I got a chance to watch the whole first season of in basically almost one day. I watched the whole thing. I enjoyed it that much. It's pretty fun. So as Clint says, Motu owns number 3 on the rock charts right now. Um,
Oh yeah, that soundtrack's banger.
that yeah, no, I love it. I absolutely love it, and I enjoyed the soundtrack during the movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. The only problem I had is when they play the main song, it kind of got faded out
Mm,
in the background for the action. It really got drowned out somehow. And so I kind of hated that.
yeah.
I would like for that to have been front and center, but I know some people had a problem with that, being that, from Highlander and everything, kind of an issue. But hey, I thought it was fine, man. I thought it was
Well,
cool.
I mean, it makes sense to use it there, but at the same time, it does diminish the fact that the Highlander movie's coming out
Right.
and it's going to have this sound song in it. It has to because that's
It's
where it came from.
it is interesting choice. But yeah, this used to happen in the '80s probably all the time because back in the '80s, every movie had a soundtrack released with it. I mean, that was like for a lot of artists, that was a way to either uh, reach new people or resurrect your career or get broken right to the public. And have a hit song, accompanying a big movie. I mean, the '80s and '90s, man, soundtracks were the jam. It's a lost art
Well,
now,
it
basically.
it if you think about it, I mean, that really does come from Queen in a lot of ways. I know there may have been others
Sure.
before that, but Flash Gordon,
Yeah.
man, when you think about because everything
Yeah,
else is
man.
like orchestral sound, and then you've got Queen doing Flash Gordon, and then you've got other various ones throughout the '80s that became iconic with that associated with that movie and killer pop songs that we
And
all
we
love.
we think, obviously Kenny Loggins made
Yep.
a whole
Oh yeah.
nother part of his career off of doing soundtracks. But
Yeah.
I mean, we can sit here and list probably maybe one day we'll do our favorite movie soundtrack, whether that is orchestral or whether that is like a
Yeah.
pop
My
artist or a rock band or something like
Mine are
that.
going to be James Horner and Williams and
Oh, sure.
I'm forgetting the other one off the top of my head,
Elfman
but
is
oh well,
another,
Elfman, yeah, no, he's got
Danny
some killer
Elfman,
ones,
right? I
yeah, for
mean,
sure.
yeah. I mean, there's
He definitely
several.
resurrected his career from Batman.
It's a lost art these days, though. It's a lost art these days. I know a lot of
Well,
people are talking about
everything's
the
AI synth or whatever,
well,
so
and the guy that did the Mandalorian soundtrack. I know he's a hot commodity in
mm,
Hollywood for a lot of stuff. He does some very unusual things instrument wise and running them through weird effects and just strange stuff. You can look it up, but he's I can't remember his name, but I know he did the Mandalorian soundtrack. So
yeah.
people are digging his stuff. Real quick, I just want to go through HK Viper in the house. What's up? Cypher 63.
What's going on?
Mother Slug. Clint Jorgensen is here. What's up, Clint? I did see, there he is, the one and only. I will be streaming with him tomorrow night and making a review video, popping them out, pumping them out. Three-star Draw is here. Stanley is here. What's up?
What's going
Junior the
on?
Third. 13th Assassin. Most 80s soundtracks had songs written specifically for the movie, like Princes of the Universe was for Highlander. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Right, love it.
Yep.
And I missed that. Again, it's a lost art. There's a lost art. I had a big long conversation
Well, I
last
mean,
night
the
over the lost art of what streaming has done to Hollywood, and we'll get
yeah,
into that. But
yeah,
I had a long
the
conversation about that.
commercial jingles too. They just don't
Yeah,
exist
sure.
anymore. And if you go back to
Theme
the
songs to TV shows.
Yep, theme songs of TV shows. And if you go back to those days, I mean, Mike Post, man, I mean, he made some bangers, right? And then you've got John Williams doing commercials and TV shows in the '70s, man.
Yeah,
he
right,
he
right.
rocked it doing that stuff before he got into movie soundtracks, and that was because I forgot exactly what it was, but Spielberg wanted him for Jaws, and he's like, "You want me to do four notes?"
Yeah, yeah. Well, and you know,
Spielberg almost didn't believe that Williams came up with four notes that would change cinema forever.
right. I mean, we talked about it when we did the Spielberg rundown. Is that how powerful a movie was that people were scared to go in the kiddie pool because
Right.
they thought that
Yeah.
a freaking shark was. I mean, that's how ridiculous, but it's so true, right?
Right.
Um, and the music, obviously, anytime you sing those notes, you know exactly what it is. Mother Slug says, off topic. I really want to know how Austin Powers 4 is being made. Like, who's going to be the villain, Scott Evil? Yeah, I heard a little bit about this, but I haven't dug into it yet because I haven't seen a lot of detail.
So the only things that I could find out was that there was such an outpouring for this stupid commercial that they did
Oh,
that
God, that's
that Mike
right.
Myers got on social media and said, "We're making uh, Austin Powers 4."
Okay.
And I'm like, okay.
Mm,
Um, I mean, who's the villain going to be? The other brother?
right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and on top of that, don't get me wrong. I think that if it had the same humor, I do think it would be
I
fine.
don't. Yeah, I don't think it can. No.
But um, but maybe not only that, but I just really, like you said, I don't know where you go with that. And
Yeah.
on top of that, also, look, age is a son of a bitch. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It just is, and it's so hard to recapture a moment in time, a period where regardless of the humor, just the actors themselves or the main star of it's like age just it sucks, and you see it
So
with bands, you see it with actors, you see it
so
with all
here's what you
kinds of
do.
stuff.
You get Shia LaBeouf to come back, and he's Austin's son, and he goes up against Seth Green,
Okay,
Evil's son, and then we have the new generation, and you go full millennial with them, and you have their old '60s parents trying to guide them back to sanity.
yeah, I mean, there's something you could do with it. I just, like you said, I don't know if you can still
No, I don't
do
know.
that. I mean, when I watch those movies and the humor in them and I hate saying this almost, it's like of a time, which really sucks because I think that it's still funny.
Yeah.
It's still funny. That's a man, baby. Good luck. Good luck with that one. Punching a woman in the face. Good luck with that one.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, they knew they were in trouble
mm.
at the time that they did
Oh,
that one.
sure, of course, of
But
course.
then there's that, and then I mean, you go back Crocodile Dundee. I mean,
Actually, there's God, I would, and look, I'm not gonna spend too much time trying to think about it. It was something I watched not too long ago, and it was like, oh yeah, can't use that word, can't do that scene, can't do, and it
oh
was just
yeah,
one after the other. And then supposedly Scary Movie was supposed to pick up the mantle here recently,
yeah.
and it definitely
It
did not do
it
that,
it sharded the bed.
right? Uh, which hopefully none of you experience that, but if you do, run as fast as you can.
Mm.
Okay, so and then we'll get to this one, Cipher. Hot D was amazing. The end was not expected. It was an oh shit moment. Yeah, we'll get to that here momentarily because we both got a chance to watch that, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it as well,
Oh
Matthew.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely. And then in Austin Powers 4, says Stanley, the reason Seth Green is not attending Joe Fest is because I doubt that, but who knows? I mean, who knows? I,
Yeah, I mean, if they're in talks or something, I totally get it. But
but if
you
they're
know,
filming, it's one thing. If you're in talks,
yeah,
attending a
I don't
convention is not going to get in the way of you doing business like that.
look. I don't know if this whole Austin Powers 4 thing was already in the works, and they said, "Hey, we're filming."
Right.
I got more of the impression that we're in talks to do it now, and
Yeah,
we're moving forward with it.
I was going to say, I just haven't heard a lot. So until there's really some substantial information to glean
It
off of that,
also could be that everybody knows that Seth Green is going to come, so he's not going to come. So he's
right,
never going to announce when he's coming to Joe Fest. He's just because
right.
he just wants to be there. He doesn't want to be Seth
Yeah.
Green while he's there.
Don't blame him.
Yeah.
Right? I don't blame him at all. I know that Todd C is here, but there's also somebody that's watching that hasn't been in the chat a little while. But I want to say hey to Johnny Reno out there. I know Johnny is hanging out and watching, listening. So Johnny, appreciate you, buddy. You know that. Todd, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Now I know that Seth Green's not going to be there, right? I don't think so as a guest, but it wouldn't surprise me to look over and see him. Well, I'd probably not see him, but
Right.
he might be walking around there. He's just 3 apples high and has his own time zone. It is what it is, folks.
He's shorter than Punk.
He's a Smurf. Yeah, that's true. That could be an interesting fight. Uh, I'm going to star that comment from Mother Slug there.
Yep.
Okay, so let's get into the numbers, man. Let's jump into it so we can get into Toy Story because it will kind of lead directly into that. Of course, Toy Story came out
Banger
just
over
a few days
weekend.
ago,
Banger over
and
weekend.
holy moly, holy cow, 176 domestic after 4 days. We're gonna go ahead and click on this bad boy because, booyah,
International
almost as
is
well.
just as good. Yeah.
Holy cow, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Very successful weekend for them. And if they keep the percentages high, you know, if they have a minimal drop this next week, even if they have a significant drop, they're still going to be killing anything else that's coming out. Supergirl.
We're going to get into Supergirl and how not to promote a movie, especially if you're the star. Joe Fin 84, how you doing, man? Okay, so yeah, 327 total, crushing it in 4 days. We kind of knew this was going to happen. If you know anything about the animated children's movies, especially a something as popular, right?
Yeah.
Even the ones that aren't looked on as fondly,
Well,
it's
and
Toy
honestly,
Story.
and honestly, there's only one Toy Story that anybody has any pushback on, and that was the last one, the
The
fourth
last
one.
one, absolutely. Now there's a little pushback on this new one, a
Yeah,
little bit, not as
yeah.
loud.
We'll
Not as
talk
loud.
about it.
Yep. We will. But yeah, absolutely. Killer Weekend, Obsession, hanging in.
Still
Look,
holding.
almost 40 days, $334 million on a
Brilliant.
$750,000 budget. That is amazing, dude. Now there is some talk, and this is something that I not caution people, but you've heard all about, the YouTubers, they're upending Hollywood, and this is the new
Yeah.
thing. Okay, let's pump the brakes. Okay. Is it trendy to maybe see a studio that goes, hey, let's grab a YouTuber or another studio grabs somebody, pay them to make a movie? It ends up not being worth a damn, right? And then any momentum is kind of killed in that. You see it happen all the time with trends.
Yeah.
I know that the kid who made this has already inked a deal, right? With it's the Blumhouse, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And they basically are giving him a blank check to do whatever he wants, like 4 pictures, like 3 or 4 movies. And I'm a little concerned
Yeah.
because he has
That's too
already
much.
been distancing himself from the YouTube conversation.
Yep.
People keep bringing up the YouTube part of it, and he keeps saying, I'm not a YouTuber. I wasn't a YouTuber. It's not my thing. And I think the back rooms is falls more in line with not necessarily being a YouTuber, right? With the person who made that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just when it seems like something could take hold, I always caution. It's like let's pump the
Slow
brakes
the
on
roll.
this
Yeah. Slow the roll.
YouTuber taking over and dominating Hollywood. They'll fight back tooth and
What
nail.
what happens when you give a very talented athlete a whole bunch of money to go play sports?
Yeah.
He blows his money and ends up not being worth a darn.
Or
Right.
you get paid. You
Yeah.
don't have the incentive anymore to go out there and
There you
play
go.
as hard.
And hustle. Yeah.
Okay.
And this goes for this too. I mean, I love that he got a deal. I think the deal was too much. 4 pictures. That's a lot of pressure.
Sure.
That's a lot of pressure.
It's
I mean, they're trying to lock him in for 10, 12 years.
Let's see if I can find it really quickly. Signed a 8-figure deal with Universal Pictures, Blumhouse, and Atomic Monster to write, produce, and direct his 3rd original horror feature. And again, man, once you get caught up in that machine out there, dude.
Well, and so
have creative control.
Yeah, that's my okay. So here's the fear, right? He's got a lack of experience, right? He's got a little bit of experience, right? And he's got to build off of that. But if he doesn't do it on his own, then he's never going to really learn the mistakes, right? Because he's going to be listening to this echo chamber, and he may or may not trust himself. Probably on the latter side, not trusting himself. So he's going to listen to all of these other corporate guys that are giving him money that are going to tell him how he needs to change things to make this thing happen. And if he's not true to himself and sticking to his guns, I don't know what will happen. Are those corporate people, do they have good ideas? Does he have a good idea and he should stick to it? And so we're going to get muddled in the mix, and who knows what's going to come out of it.
It's now look,
the first one will be a huge promotional event, right? Because did Obsession, blah 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 blah. You just throw all that stuff out there, so that one will have a chance to tick up more so than anything else. But if it's not a banger, then he's going to lose credibility real fast.
Yeah, it's I mean, look, this kind of success is almost a once in a lifetime, right?
Yeah.
So to recreate that is so difficult. I think that's why it's so remarkable what Lucas did with making Empire Strikes Back and banking his own money, and you know what I mean, like betting on himself to
Yeah.
have a follow up to at that time the most successful film in history. Um, it's difficult to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I just when I saw that news, I was like, come on, man. Like, but
Yep.
but I get it. Hey, dude got paid. It is what it is. I guess that's life. Whatever. But we'll see what he does with it. Disclosure Day. I don't know where you go with this. At number 3, 11 days in release, 162 million total worldwide. It's obviously a flop for
Yeah.
Spielberg, and even though it is at number 3, but you see the gap between the top two.
Yep.
Scary movie. Hanging in there. Masters of the Universe.
Still making a couple bucks.
Still making a couple bucks. Still gonna have it's on the struggle bus. Just broke $100 million worldwide.
Worldwide.
That's rough.
Yeah, it doesn't have a chance now with everything else that's coming out in the next 2-3 weeks. So,
and then we see with Leviticus, Star Wars, Mandalorian and Grogu, Michael, still pulling in some bucks, almost at $1 billion. We'll see if it gets there. But
yeah,
that's successful for sure, 100%.
Yep.
And not a terrible drop off. I mean, 53%, but still doing well. And then after that, girls like girls, yay. The Furious, which does look fun as they beat them up.
Yeah.
And
I heard some okay things about that. I like Sheep
Yeah.
Detectives. What's another one? Breadwinners or something? I heard that was
Breadwinners.
pretty funny.
I saw that. Yeah.
Heard that was pretty funny.
But anything going up against Toy Story is going to have a difficult time.
Yep.
And so and as Jay, wait, okay, hang on, Jersey. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Jers Young Company. Jay's Young. Okay, I gave up. Says who gives a shit? Well, I can't argue with that, especially some of these movies. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And as Mother Slug says, I've only heard of 3 of these films. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's just the box office right now. I mean, you're going to get one, right? You're going to get one or two, and then the rest is going to be like, hey, I didn't even hear about that movie. Didn't hear about any marketing about that movie. Didn't hear anything about that movie.
Yep.
Marketing for a lot of these has been terrible.
Yep.
Absolutely terrible. But the one film, obviously, that is on top, which is Toy Story 5. You got a chance to see Toy Story 5. So give us a rundown. Tell us kind of what your thoughts are on Toy Story 5, and did you guys enjoy it?
Yeah, so my daughter loved it. My wife liked it a lot. I thought it was pretty good. It is Toy Story, and it follows a narrative, and it's entertaining. It talks about the digital side of things, and thinking back about how the digitals crept in over time and gotten more and more prevalent, but how these two things can kind of work together. And that's always what it was going to have to be, because we're not going backwards, but we have to figure out how to balance moving forward with, and they bring up a lot of good points about creative play and social development. But they make it seem like the people with technology were more socially developed than the people without it. And I would say it's exact opposite. The people with less technology are more socially developed in most cases, because they have to actually interact with other living things or their imagination. But either way, that kind of prepares them a little bit better for social interaction than something on a screen where you get into this hive mind groupthink thing, and they've got mean girls in this and all that stuff.
Okay.
I will say this as a criticism: the first 3 Toy Stories told a narrative that moved through time, and so the story grew and changed as the characters grew and changed. Toy Story 4 and 5, we are stuck in the same 6-month period of time. right? I
Okay.
mean, no, the little girl isn't aging like at all. I guess she's supposed to be 10 in this, but she doesn't act 10. She still acts like she's 6 or 8, somewhere in that
Okay.
range. Um, so it's very stagnated on that sense of things. Um,
So the crux of the movie is they get this lily pad, which is basically
so no, no, yeah, no.
yeah kind of get
So it really starts off with Bonnie having a difficult time making friends because she's out in the yard playing with toys, and these two other kids from across the street laugh at her and go running in the house, and she gets super embarrassed about it, and she doesn't have any friends, and she can't figure out why she doesn't have any friends because they're all on this lily pad thing. It's like everybody's connected universe is on the lily pad, and her parents finally say maybe this will help her make friends, and Lilypad shows up and says, "Hey, she's got 3 friends from dance group right here. There's a group chat already, and she's already in it, and blah blah blah. And, she's already making friends." It's like, well, no, she's not making friends. They've just
okay.
connected digitally,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So she knows these kids from dance, but she's never really hung out with them. She gets invited to a sleepover, right? And all the girls are playing with their lily pads the whole time, and like you see it, they're staring at screens. They're not interacting with each other. They're interacting with the screens, making fun of each other or whatever. And the toys try to go along, and then that becomes an embarrassment. And she's, fighting, wanting to play with the toys. Toys get lost and go back to the original address from Jesse's original owner.
Ah, okay, okay.
And the house doesn't have the original owner in it. Obviously, it's a new family, but it is a young 10-and-a-half-year-old girl who uh, deals with horses. So she rides horses, and she's kind of a cowgirl, right? Um, but she still loves to play with toys, and she's having trouble making friends. And the story goes on. The toys are trying to rescue each other. You've got this whole subplot with this army of digital Buzz Lightyears that are out there with new upgraded Bluetooth technology,
Okay.
and they turn into drones as one of their special upgrade features. So that helps kind of save the day. Um, but Jesse and Bullseye end up with this cowgirl's place, and then the digital communication devices, she finds some ancient ones, but they're still in the Lilypad network. So they start talking with the new Lilypad, trying to transmit messages back and forth to get the toys back to Bonnie. Well, the Lilypad tries to stop that at first. Eventually, Lilypad changes her mind and realizes that she made a mistake, and Bonnie's true friend would be this girl. Bonnie rejects the toys a couple of times, but then finally, accepts them and becomes friends with this other girl. And they play with toys, and they have their digital devices they can communicate and email on because they
Right.
live across town. But they all go out to the picnic place where, Jessie has her fondest memories with her first owner at this tree. Um, Jessie doesn't think that she matters. And then she finds a tin and opens up this tin with Jessie all over it and said, "This isn't my Emily." And she finds out it was Emily's daughter. Emily's daughter's name was Jessie. And so that
Oh, okay,
kind
okay.
of, gets her re-inspired to interacting with the kids again. Um,
So
Buzz, Buzz
but
and Woody are kind of sideline characters.
okay, that
Um,
was a question that Mother Slug was kind of asking
yeah.
about how much screen time, did they have?
So they are important to the story, but at every opportunity they get undercut by Bo Peep or Jesse or the
Okay.
situation. There's one scene where all the toy horses at the ranch, that all of the Buzz Lightyears and Woody and everybody have to get on these horses and ride out to go save Jesse and Bullseye. And they do this thing, and then they have to go ride off even further. And as they're all riding off, Woody's horse, he can't find his horse, and all of a sudden there's this little tiny little squeaky horse that comes up, and so he has to ride the little tiny squeaky horse, right? And it's one of those things that is, it's a chuckle, right? But it's at the expense
Right.
of one of our classic heroes. Jesse is the sheriff, right? And
Okay.
and and Buzz and Woody want to be her deputy, and from a storytelling perspective, from a toy playing perspective, this makes total sense because the character who owns these toys and is playing with them is Bonnie,
Right.
right? And
Right.
and so you could see how she would gravitate towards this, and so it makes sense because they're toys and all that other stuff. But Buzz is all trying to propose to Jesse the entire time. That's kind of his niche that he wants to do. And Woody is just kind of trying to come back and help them reconnect with the kids again, but he abandoned the kids. Woody literally abandoned them to go be a free range toy in the last
Okay.
movie. So they're trying to kind of retcon a little bit, but he's still hanging around with Bo Peep and Keanu Reeves as stuntman and all that stuff.
Did we not already get like Jesse's story prior to this movie? Didn't we kind of get a from what I
Yeah,
remember?
yeah, but this is a whole new story when a kid of today's era of 10 years old is playing with a
Sure.
60-year-old doll who's in really good condition and
Yeah, it's amazing actually.
a
I
collector's item toy that she's playing with.
Well, look, I mean, the bottom line, I mean, realistically, is that these movies tend to connect. Now, the last one did have a lot of criticism for sure.
And
Um,
and I can see a lot of the criticism for this one, but at the same time, let's just put it in perspective. As a
yeah,
Toy Story movie, this is Bonnie's story, even though she's not really aging or growing or developing. This is a very short period of time that these three movies kind of take place from Toy
okay,
Story 3, 4, and 5. Um, and I get it. When you undercut the male characters that we've had these attachments to, it takes away from it a little bit. But at the same time, it isn't their story anymore.
well, also too, to my understanding, from everybody that I've watched and kind of heard from, it also kind of shows how girls play with toys, right?
Well,
Like,
no, because the girls are playing with toys like boys play with toys.
okay, see, that's interesting
Yeah,
because now the reason I asked that is
to a
because
degree. To a degree.
because with Buzz, the word out there is that he's the one that keeps trying to propose, and at the wedding, he whatever, he's the one that's standing there waiting instead of walk. You know what I mean? Like he's not standing there; he's walking down rather than being the one that's waiting, like the traditional male role would be. There's a couple flip flop things. When they
Yeah,
kiss, he lifts his leg up, like the woman traditionally would lift her leg up in the air, that old school kind of, kissing scene kind of thing. And so those are some of the things that I've heard.
yeah.
I wonder, with it being a Toy Story movie, though, you always wonder, like, how far can you take something like that? I've heard,
It
I don't
is
know.
a sneaky way to sneak in stuff like that, but at the same
Right.
time, it's kids playing with toys, and they may change things up. I don't. When I watch my daughter play with toys, she doesn't necessarily play like that. Like if she did a wedding thing, the bride would be walking down by her
Sure.
father, and all of these things that the
Sure.
bride actually wants to have happen for her wedding, right?
Right.
So I don't see that. I see that as one of the big kind of missteps there. And, and the whole wedding thing, I get it. That's girls are going to do that, guys aren't. But at the same time, a lot of the other ways that they're playing with toys is more like how boys play with toys.
Okay. And look, this comment I found interesting. The only reason I found it interesting is if we think
Mm.
back, okay, with Mother Slug saying Pork Chop and Rex have only like one line in the movie, maybe maybe a little more, slowly killing the brand. What is funny is that if we think back to our own childhood and all those cartoons that we like to watch, when they would introduce a new toy line, those favorites of yours would have less and less roles. They would have
Yeah.
less and less lines.
I mean, they
They would
tried to
not
kill
show
Duke,
up
right? Because they
right.
got to bring on the new toy line.
Exactly. And so in a way, and kind of talking about it and looking at it that way, I totally understand. However, back in the day, it was pretty common that if you really attached to a character and then all of a sudden they would phase that person out and you'd rarely see them, in a new episode or a new season. So it's not uncommon.
It
I
happens
guess
yeah.
my question to you, I guess, really is something I brought up when I was watching the trailers. the actors sound old to me. The actor Tom Hanks sounds old to me. Just and they are everybody that's portraying these for the most
Mhm.
part. And so, does that come across in the movie? Is there any of it that maybe is a little distracting? Joan
I
Cusack sounds really freaking old to me.
you know what, I thought for the most part they sounded fine. There were definitely moments where you can hear the age in their voices, and if you look at Joan Cusack right now, she does not look the same. I mean, she doesn't look bad, but she just doesn't look the same. She's definitely
Sure.
a lot older, um, and like I said, she doesn't look bad, but it's just different than what we think of her looking like from all the movies that we've seen her in. And
Okay.
she kind of did sound probably the worst out of all
Okay.
of them, but she also had more lines than any of them.
It's
So,
just yeah. I mean, it's just something I noticed like in the trailers, and it just was very distracting to me. Yeah, I
mm,
heard other people saying, "Oh, what are you talking about? I think it sounds great." And I'm like, man, I don't know how you don't hear that, especially
yeah,
maybe a character that has a lot of dialogue.
yeah.
Um,
If you're looking for it, you're going to find it. If you just watch it, you
okay,
probably won't notice it
all
unless you
right.
watch them back to back.
Yeah, I was gonna say because that's the kind of the true test. Really, is just have a few years in between. But I mean, so ultimately though, you give it a recommend. I mean, if
Yeah, yeah. I
family
mean,
wise or other.
absolutely. You know, I see no reason. It's still a Toy Story movie. It's still got its fun adventure. Um, it's got a lot of the characters that you want to see in there, and even if they don't get the same amount of screen time, it's okay. Things phase out, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Things always
right.
phase out.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to see it. I couldn't find a good time to go, and then with packing and getting ready for Joe Fest and all that, I was like, man, I'm just gonna run out of time. Like, it's just gonna run out of time to be able to check it out. And so, I will say this: I like those movies. They have never been such for me in just high regard. Okay, and it's not for any reason other than I just would see them intermittently, right? I mean, I
Yeah,
catch the first one years ago, then the second one, and but there was no rush for me to go out and be like, oh, here's the new one, right? But then having a young child when certain ones were coming out, of course, you're going to end up catching those. It's like watching Cars,
right.
or something. Same kind of deal. It's like you just end up seeing it just because you have to.
Yep.
It is what it is. So, but yeah, I've heard more positive than negative, that's for sure. But I have heard some people that are really down on it. Um, I guess, like you said earlier, if you look for stuff, you're going to find it.
Yeah.
I guess, but I think that's with anything these days, right?
Yep.
And so let's see here. I have a couple things start from Bobby Wool, but I don't want to get into that just yet. Cypher63 says seems familiar or similar to when Nintendo took over for us when we were young. A lot of us dumped our action figures for the joypad. I know I definitely once Nintendo's came around and home consoles became. I mean, it definitely dominated a lot of my time. Um,
You know what?
it just did.
This was a play pattern for me. Is that yeah, video games and other things were creeping in, but I still get together with my friends. We'd play GI Joes out in the yard, and then we'd go play the GI Joe video game or Goonies or
Yeah.
Ducktales or whatever on the Nintendo.
I'll be honest with you. I think with my friends, I played more with my buddies like outside and doing football
Yeah,
and wiffle ball and then like and Nintendo, Sega. My cousin was the main one that I played with my GI Joes with. If it wasn't me by myself, my
yeah.
friends that I had on my street, they had. I mean, dude, they just didn't have nearly as many uh, as I had. I guess they weren't as into them as much as I was,
So
even And so I just that was more me and my cousin, and all the other stuff for my friends was outside and Nintendo. That's pretty
so
much how that was.
I will say that there was a neighbor kid. His mom was a headhunter who scouted out talent for my mom, among other people, and he was he was a little bit younger than me, but his father had made a lot of mistakes and spent some time in prison, And so mom would buy him all the GI Joes, all the Legos, all the
Okay.
whatever. So he
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
like, so we were always over there playing with all that stuff. And so that's where some of that came up. Another friend who was a little bit just about the same age as me, just slightly older. We played Nintendo or ran around with our bikes, and sometimes we played, Transformers or GI Joe, but mostly with him it was the other things, and then some
Right.
other kids it was the portable games or whatever. But yeah, there's different groups, different people.
I find it interesting the conversation now though, and talking about this with kids and tablets and phones and screen time and who's buying toys these days. You see more grown men on the toy aisle than you do children when it comes to like action figures and stuff like that. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And so that was a conversation I had, I think, last night even was just
Yep.
getting into that. And that led into a fella talking about how, he was really hoping that analog would make a comeback, right? Like just in very
Don't we
like,
all?
yeah, we all
I
do,
mean,
but
the
it's
hipsters have
just
been wanting
not.
analog to come back for 25 years.
I know, right? Hey, this guy's like in his freaking 70s, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and he's just like, yeah, I really do think it's going to make a comeback. And I'm like, it's just life's too easy now. Things are too easy now. It's too convenient. I'm like, there's just no
Yeah.
way it's possible. Do I wish that it was? I
So
told my son the other day, I said, man, I'll be honest with you, dude. If you could just experience a week in say 1987,
oh yeah.
just to see what talking on the phone was like, turning on the
So
radio, listening to a DJ,
I
stuff.
all that stuff is amazing, and you can't recreate it, and even if you try to recreate it, it's just not the same. But I will tell you what one of the major turning points and all that was when digital compressed sound fidelity got to the point of the limits of human hearing,
Yeah.
and when 4K started coming out. Okay, we can't see better than 4K. We can't hear better than the sound that's being produced at the best levels right now. So we can get all of those details from analog, but at the same time, it's still not analog, right? So there's still some sterility to it, even though we can have the depth of sound. But people are like, I've got the depth of sound. I don't care. I want the best, cleanest quality, right?
Right. Yeah. It's and I want to be able to collect as much shit as I can and still not listen to it. But as long as I can still download it all, you know.
Hey,
Can't
I've got it
touch
on vinyl, but I
yeah.
don't have a record player.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Right, there you go. That's the other big one. I love when people fucking buy records. They don't even have a record player. They're like, I just got this new vinyl. It's like, yeah. And then 15 years from now, when they finally somehow get a record player, listen to it. Like, I got all this great vinyl.
Well, but I can't switch tracks. I got to listen to the whole album.
I swear to God.
I got to listen to the whole album now.
And look, we're gonna start sounding like the old men, get off our lawn, guys, and all that shit. No, it is what it is, but a lot of us feel that way, and that also evolved into the conversation about television and appointment viewing, and
Yeah.
Used to have a Christmas episode and a Thanksgiving episode and a New Year's Eve episode, and Halloween episode, and those were some of the most famous episodes in TV sitcom history. And that's all gone now. It's all gone. And
WKRP, the turkey drop. I mean, come on.
Right. You think about those Roseanne Halloween episodes. Those were big deals. I mean, and
Treehouse of Terror.
This is a small gripe in the drop in the bucket, but you and I talk about it all the time with leaving that behind. 22 episodes a season for 6 or 8 episodes, and it's not as good. It's just a shame, and it's not gonna come. I don't see how it comes back in at all. But it's wishful thinking.
Stanley, physical to digital ratio, 10-1. Physical to digital. I buy everything physical. I still do. I've got 1,500 DVD Blu-rays between, and that's not discs necessarily. That's titles, right? So that's entire seasons or entire series of programming on top of the movies and the Blu-ray is documentaries between the vinyl and the cassettes and the VHS, and then the digitals. I tend not to buy digitals. I tend to get them with the physical media. So some of them
Right.
are there, some of them are not. And then streaming services, right? So there's stuff on streaming. But just the other night, something major happened across the entire globe. Guess what? Disney Plus went down,
Yeah,
right?
that caused a
It
big
was
headache.
it was down for almost an entire day. So we couldn't even log into our account and we wanted to watch a movie. And guess what? It's on the shelf. Pull it off the shelf, put it in. Boom, we watched it. It's awesome.
Well, and that's great. And I will say this: I still have a lot of physical media. There's a lot of it I have given up over the years. There's a lot that I sold, or
Yeah.
whatever. But I still do have a lot of the stuff that I wanted to keep, especially right the shit I really cared about. For me, ratio wise, I couldn't even begin to tell you. Unfortunately, like everybody else, when it comes to either time or whatever, it's just easier to pull up my tablet and go watch. That's how I watched House of the Dragon tonight. Just pulled my tablet up, walked around with it, watch it that way. I didn't have to
Oh,
sit and do it, but it's because I had shit going on and the internet
yep.
was fucked up, so I had to do an alternative way. And Johnny Reno told me, he said, he texted me and said that he still has all the players, man, all the vinyl, cassettes, you name it.
Yeah.
Still listens to them, plays them, all that stuff. Uh,
The only thing
cassette,
that I've thought about
cassette.
getting rid of is my VHS stuff because that stuff degrades so fast.
It
I don't know
does.
that it survived.
Was it tape? VHS tape like had like roughly like a 25
Yeah.
year ish shelf life before it starts to really degrade
Yeah. Well,
quickly.
and so this is why beta was better. But one of the many reasons why beta was better. But anyway,
No, no, I get it. That is a conversation for 1981,
yeah,
uh, which we won't have. But
man, we had beta until 86, 87.
right, I agree with you, Mother Slug. It seems like every day is some kind of holiday, some kind of day that we recognize. It's gotten to be quite a bit too much, to be quite honest with you. And it's only going to get worse because as we tribalize more and more and every
Yeah.
group segments and breaks down, then we have to recognize another group and another day. And it's never ending at this point. And then let's see here. Before we get into little
Do you
House
know
of the
what today
Dragon,
is? Do you know what today's holiday is?
let me think. Today is Tuesday, the 24th, right?
23rd.
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 Oh, it is
Yep.
23rd. That's right.
Yep.
Um, I have no clue.
International Olympic Day. Today is the day we celebrate the founding of the International Olympic
Oh,
Committee.
wow. Okay.
Yay.
Well, a very corrupt group, the
Yeah, right.
IOC,
Yep.
extremely corrupt group. So I
Uh,
will not be recognizing them or celebrating them for that matter.
in Spain, it's St. John's Eve. I believe
Ooh, fascinating.
National Pink Day, Let It Go Day,
It is
National
also, wait, what?
National Detroit Style Pizza Day.
Just get out of here. See, shit like that. I understand. Like, today's National Subway Sandwich Day. Today's National Hamburger Day. Like, what the ever? I mean, it's Taco Tuesday in my eyes. I agree. 13th Assassin Beta is definitely better. 3 Star has a shit ton of DVDs and a lot of VHS. I do too. I still got a bunch of VHS tapes.
I
You
have
know,
close to 1,800 to 2,000 right now. I think.
nice. Hell
Yeah.
yeah, man. No, I love that. I absolutely love that. I'm a, had I kept a lot of my stuff, but a lot of us let go of a lot of things, right? I
Let
mean,
it
it's just it
go.
is,
Let it go.
yeah, yeah,
Well, and
it is let it go day too. That's
it
what you just
is.
said.
Yeah, it is. Yep, where you let go of old grudges. Um,
Wow. Well,
uh, what's sad about the digital DVD disc stuff is they're going to degrade over time too. They're going to last maybe a little bit longer, but
yeah,
then there's this whole era of Warner Brothers where they produced crappy DVDs that didn't last at all. So you probably have a lot of discs out there that are already corrupted that you can't ever watch because it was a problem with the manufacturing of those initial run Warner Brothers discs, and they didn't want them to, because this goes back to the 80s with VHS, and they didn't want plebs owning these things. So they made them $120 in the
Oh, it was
80s.
obscene how expensive VHS tapes were.
So
Like,
this is why you had to rent them from Blockbuster
ridiculous.
Video, right?
Right.
Because they didn't want you to actually own these things. And so then when Warner Brothers switched to the DVD format, they made crappy versions of them because they didn't want you to own them for any length of time, because they said, oh, well, you're going to have to repurchase it because we'll
Right.
reprint these, or you're going to have to come back and see it in the theaters as we re-release it, or whatever the new format is, right? So they've always put this permanency into it so that they can make more money down the line.
Well, I mean, look, it's just good business, Matthew.
I
I
mean,
mean,
business, but at the same time, remember in the days when you built stuff to last? Nah,
Well,
not
that's
anymore.
true. That's true. And also, do you remember the days when a 15-mile-an-hour car accident would kill someone?
Well, they still can today.
They can, however, you're riding around in how many thousands of pounds of steel back in 1955? You know what I'm saying? It's a totally
Yeah.
different world now. But no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
Bobby had a question earlier. I wanted to highlight this. He said, I have a question for Matthew. Catching up on Real American Hero Comic 329, how is Sean Collins affected by the Easter egg since he never received Snake Eyes' memory from the brainwave scanner? And it says, at least I don't ever recall reading that he did. I know you took on the mantle of of Snake Eyes when he died.
So here's the thing about Larry Hama's writing. He doesn't plan anything. He gets characters and he tells a story with those characters, and he relies on other people to help him with this thing called continuity. And in 329, they explicitly state that every version of the current Snake Eyes that in existence have been affected by the Easter egg. So Sean, the cloned version of Snake Eyes, and Dawn all have the Easter egg in them because none of them are the original Snake Eyes. The original Snake Eyes is dead. And so in 329, they explicitly state that they all have had exposure to it. Even though in the comics, if you go back and you look at it, they said, oh, no, they didn't. They were still in the machine. The machine touched them, and so the Easter egg was implanted. Now, how that affects them in the next issue, we'll see.
Right. It is interesting reading that recent issue. And I was like, okay, wait, what the fuck is going on? Because
Now,
I
because
bailed out somewhere around 100 and something, okay? Like, I don't even remember exactly back in the day.
So Cobra had captured Sean Collins thinking it was the original Snake Eyes, not knowing that the original Snake Eyes was dead. And they threw him in the brainwave scanner because they were going to try and reprogram him to be a Cobra agent. They started the process before he got out. So that's how that one happened. Dawn was thrown in the machine because she was a kid that Cobra Commander wanted to make his own personal assassin.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But the Snake Eyes programming overrode her that Cobra mechanism to make her who she is. And then the clone came back and didn't have any memories, and so they had to put memories in his head. So they put those memories in his head, and the Easter egg was still there. So they all have been exposed to it.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's just interesting because I remember seeing, reading that, recently, and I was like, okay, I really got to figure this out. I really got to figure this whole thing out. And speaking of which, obviously the Dawn Moreno figure came out. You were showing it earlier. I got her as well. Whatever. I just think the Snake Eyes exposure is just a bit much. I think it becomes a super focus, not really my focus. Like the figure, don't have any affiliation with the character. It doesn't.
It's the
matter
same
to
as
me.
Batman. It's the same as Wolverine.
Right.
It is. They're all overexposed because they're the most popular.
Yeah, no, that's it. You're absolutely right, and it is true. They are the most popular, but I just find that so fascinating, especially with Snake Eyes. It's just, I don't know. Batman, I get it. Wolverine, I get it. I don't know. It's just me. But whatever. Who cares what I think? I don't even care what I think. How you like them apples, Matthew? Wait a minute. What was that? What are you trying to grab there? And then Mother
The
Slug
apples,
says,
man. The apples.
Last I heard, Snake Eyes was blind, going by Hasbro. Snake Eyes' real name is Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil. Go figure. That would be quite the crossover event, ladies and gentlemen. So, okay, let's let's talk for a second. I want to talk about, because the show that you brought up before we jump into Hot D, which everybody loves some Hot D. Don't act like you don't. Okay, don't act like you don't. I know everybody likes some Hot D. But before we do, there's a show that that I actually started to watch that you actually turned me on to. And I'd forgotten really that you did, but there was this little bug in the back of my head that was like, you mentioned about this show. And it's called The Burrows, and it's on Netflix. And I was like, I'm gonna watch it. Like, let me just watch it. I like the cast for the most part.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch this little show. It's a little funny, get decent ratings. And it's a good show.
Yeah. Alfred Molina did a great job.
Absolutely. It's a retirement community. Alfred Molina, he's widowed. He's being taken by his daughter and her husband to stay at this retirement community that has all the amenities that anyone could ever want. It's the perfect setup, right? It's the perfect place for someone to retire. Everybody has a golf cart or a side-by-side, of some kind, and you can live out the rest of your days in pretty much luxury, and you have a bunch of friends, orgies, you name it. There's all kinds of crazy shit going on in this little retirement community, which is actually kind of pretty normal at those places. But anyway, so it's a supernatural show. It is the Duffer Brothers, who obviously Stranger Things. It's a fun show. It's funny. I thought the characters were good. There's a little bit of stuff in it that kind of makes you, roll your eyes occasionally. There were some things for me rolling my eyes, but overall, and I say some stuff, I don't mean that as in, oh, there's some feminist shit, or there's some role reversal, or there's some this. I just mean that there's some plot things that kind of, you kind of go, okay, what is happening here? But it's a fun show. Now, the problem is it has fallen victim to the Netflix curse.
Yep.
Is it got canceled after one season.
Yep.
It literally got canceled after one season. And I was like, well, why would a show that's so popular, that has such a great cast, and I mean, this cast, you can look at the cast.
Cast is really good.
It's a solid cast. Jenna Malone, Bill Pullman, Gina Davis, which, think of what you will about Gina Davis recently. Dennis O'Hare is really good. I kept thinking for some reason he was Bob Odenkirk, and I was like, it's not Bob Odenkirk. But Dennis O'Hare, who made his bones, especially for me, in American Horror Story,
right,
in that series. But Dee Wallace from E.T., very short, very, very short.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, has a good cast, fun cast. And I thought, why would they cancel such a show? Well, and then I saw this.
Yep.
$10 to $12 million per episode.
This is what happens. This is what happens when you make stuff in Hollywood. It costs $10 to $12 million because each one of those cast members costs several of them cost a fortune to get on set.
Yeah.
Right. Alfred Molina. I mean, he's going to charge a significant amount. He's in every episode. Right. Several of these others, they're going to charge a lot to get up and make it worth their time. And then you've got the special effects and the setting. And if you're shooting all in Hollywood, then you're going to be spending 10 to 12 million an episode because the union fees and everything else.
Right.
And so that you may think that sounds crazy. What is the budget per episode of Hot D?
Well, okay. So now let's find out. I'll look it up real quick because
But I mean,
it's a
you
professional show, ladies and gentlemen.
you go by Game of Thrones or even Spider Noir.
Holy shit!
Yes, so this is what it takes to film in Hollywood. I knew that would blow your mind.
Holy shit! And that's look, 10 episode first season, $200 million.
Yeah,
20 million an episode. Now Game of Thrones, it talks about season 1 versus season 8.
well, yeah. So
you know.
so, but season 8, there was so much more baggage on it. So in the beginning, they didn't have near as many producers as they did later on, and so you got to pay all those producers and all that red tape. So that's the other thing, is that you're paying for so much red tape.
Well, you're correct about that. A lot of bureaucracy, a lot of red tape when it comes to filming and all that. But just also, just in effects, I guess, look, with the cast that the Burroughs has, each one of those people are accomplished for the most part.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to demand a different salary, but and of course now, I mean, look, I'm just going to say it. Now that Hollywood is paying women practically equal money, even though they may not be the star of the show, they're making sure that women get paid more money. That does factor in, and I don't care about that. I'm just saying that is a factor. Not everybody was paid equally, depending on what their role was and all that. But just the simple fact of, since Me Too and in recent years, you've had people getting paid even more money that contributes to that. And
so now the only way to make it fair is that you pay them by line. How many lines do you have?
To me, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, literally, to me, then
every single actor will be fighting the script writers for
100%.
More dialogue.
No, of course.
And
they already do.
Which script writer are you going to go to? Because there's 24 of those too.
Yeah, I know, it's incredible. but nonetheless, I just thought that was interesting. $10 to $12 million for the budget.
When you look at what it's costing to make a television show these days, that's not out of the ordinary. So this doesn't make sense why they would cancel this, because you got the Duffer Brothers, you've got good press on it,
right?
And the only thing that happened with this show was the fact that it fell victim to the Netflix model.
Yeah,
if it went out weekly and put out an episode weekly, then there would have been word of mouth and people would have gotten attached to it, because it is an entertaining show and you want to watch the next episode.
I recommend it. I do. I think you'd enjoy it. For those of you out there that not only maybe like what the Duffer Brothers set up with Stranger Things, but just put that aside. Just the story itself. Now, season 1 is contained. Okay, so like it's not. You don't have to continue this story. And maybe that's made the decision easier.
I was going to say, and that's probably the other side of it. Okay. Right. The real reason it got canceled is because it was a one and done show to begin with.
But it is fun. I do recommend it. You had mentioned it.
I don't know where they would have gone with this season 2 anyway.
I don't either, and I don't really need to know, because I think it would have been mystery box storytelling eventually, and it would have they would have been continuing for the sake of continuation rather than having a plan to.
So let's take this
nice
for what it is, and we can put it in the classification of Almost Human or Firefly or Westworld. There's only one season.
Yep, and one season. Mr. Wonderful, go check out the Burrows. What's going on? The Mr. Wonderful, absolutely. Yo, Joe Daddy 610. Yo, Joe Daddy says, are both of y'all going to Joe Fest? Matthew will not be attending. I will be there with my cousin, 3-Star Draw.
Now, if I could teleport or time travel, I'd certainly be there, but neither of those can happen. But if I randomly show up in the background of pictures, just know.
Just know. That's all I got to say. And then I won't say anything because my lips are sealed, baby. Strange things afoot. All right, Hot D, House of the Dragon. House of the freaking Dragon.
Hey, and in honor of House of the Dragon, I put up my Piss Every Savage Crucible collector off by showing off my 3 Elric's picture in the background there.
And actually, hang on a second, because I'm gonna remove us just for momentarily, so you guys can check out this badass background, which is a badass picture that Matthew took. So I'm gonna pull us off for a couple seconds here. Don't worry, we haven't gone anywhere. Admire the work. Bow down to the master. Mother Slug says they apparently knew that going into that show. What were they thinking besides a great reference on your resume, right? Yeah, as Matthew said, hey, it's self-contained. It's what you don't need it, and that probably helped. But the actors were somewhat blindsided a bit by the cancellation when that news came out because they had not heard anything about it, and so yeah, that's it was a little bit of a surprise to the actors, and maybe happens a little more often than we think these days when you think you've got a successful show.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'd say in Hollywood, you also have to know these days that anything can happen, no matter how successful something is, especially with streaming these days. But let's talk about let's talk about Hot D.
Travis, I know, buddy. I know. I was there.
What was that right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He and guess what? I got 3 of them, and I got red, white, and blue. So I'm good.
And they look fantastic, by the way.
They're pretty awesome.
Absolutely do. 3 stars says they're going to have some Elrics at Joe Fest. Matthew,
they
wish
are.
me luck.
Yeah, dude, you better get them Friday because I'm telling you that I know in their stack of things that they take to shows, they had an allotment that they're taking to shows. They have to sparse them out for the rest of the year. So you're looking at probably 25 to 40 at most that are going to each of the shows for the rest of the year. If you don't get it Friday night, you're not going to get it.
Well, we will be there Friday night for the early access. That's something we pay for. And hey, listen, Mr. Wonderful Look, you call it your rare Komodo. I call it my penis. We all have our own special pet names for it. I don't need to take a shoot of it, okay? And Joe Daddy, definitely look forward to meeting you too. And that guy has one hell of a Southern accent, and I love it. Okay, so we're gonna jump into as Cypher63 says. So the latest Hot D episode should have been the end of last season. I agree.
Well, so
we'll talk about.
Yeah.
It says, but man, was it worth the wait? It has me excited for this season. So, what do you think? And then I will give you my thoughts on episode 1 of season 3, House of the Dragon, which a lot of people have kind of fallen off of. A little bit.
I was disappointed. Okay. I expected a lot more because the Battle of the Gullet is the largest battle in all of Westeros. It's the largest battle in the entire Song of Ice and Fire history. And we saw about 15% of it in this episode. And we wasted a whole shitload of time on a lot of stuff.
The chase through the fucking rocks.
All of that nonsense.
It was cool, but like...
Well, no, the battle part of it, that was fine. I'm talking about all of the wilders and all that stuff. And you've got to set up... You got to set up the Golden Company. You've got to set up... the only problem with that is having read books. I knew how this battle was going to go with the Gullet, but I also knew that as soon as they wrote out the only black character who was written into the story, that it was going to be a problem, because now you have replaced it with one of the Targaryens who was the runaway girl, who now becomes this wilder who gets this dragon and goes on.
Are we talking about with Sheep Stealer?
Yeah,
I meant to say Sheep Stealer.
Whatever.
It's, is it Rhaena? Right.
It's supposed to be a girl called Nettles, and
right.
She was a wilder, so to speak. And later on, she's got a pretty intense relationship with Daemon, and now that she's Daemon's child, it kind of makes a whole different scenario much more awkward. Not that Targaryens aren't adverse to doing that, as we'll see later in this
Sure.
episode, but um, it's just going to make things a whole lot more awkward.
You know, I will tell you this: for the most part, I'm kind of with Cypher 6-3. Not on being super excited. I did enjoy the episode. I'm not gonna lie. Now, I'm
There's a lot
coming
to
at
like
it.
about the episode.
I am coming at it from someone who is not a book reader, right?
Right.
So what I will do, because have not read the books, I will come at it where I will look up, give me the differences between. Show
Mm.
me, tell me the story. I do that. And now I do read spoilers. I do read about I do that with movies. I don't care. It doesn't ruin my enjoyment.
Right.
If something's good, it's good. It did hold my attention.
Yeah.
Do I think that we had a little bit on some scenes that maybe we maybe didn't need? I guess, but I also feel like um, this is episode 1. Should this have happened at the end of last year?
Yes.
Yes, I do agree with that because it
So
was blue balls for 2 years. But the episode did hold my attention, and there were scenes, just even short ones, that gave some context. Okay, that I was fine with. I did, knowing about the Battle of the Gullet. It unfortunately did get the short shrift
yeah.
as far as its meaningfulness in this episode, and I hated that. And I'm really uninterested in Sheep Stealer and Reyna. I just don't. I don't care for that storyline personally. I thought we spent a lot of time
Well,
on it last season with her being there and
yeah, but you
being
notice
sent away.
how she took control of the Golden Company, not the Golden. It will become the Golden Company.
Right.
She took control of the bastards right away, and there were several. So this show's doing something unintentional. It's intentional but unintentional at the same time because this is the way Hollywood works. They try so hard to not be racist, they become super racist.
Yeah.
Right? They're trying so hard to be girl bossy. They're proving the
Yeah.
point that
I didn't like
women
the
shouldn't
line.
rule.
I didn't like the line from Rhaenyra that talks. She says she has a line in there about I may have the body of a woman or something, but I'm still fit to be a king, or I'm still what I'm saying, like she has
Well,
this.
she acknowledges that her body isn't as strong as a man's
And
body.
I'm fine with
So
that, but
unintentional irony.
right, it's just yeah, there are lines like that. Now look, all right, folks, look. I get it. My son sometimes calls me out on this occasionally. He's like, you just notice all this shit. You notice little things like that, right? He's like, I just watch it because I enjoy it, or I just watch it, I like it. And
Sure.
you notice things like that like just kind of people don't think about, right? And so I fully recognize that it is difficult for me sometimes to watch
Yeah.
stuff only because we've been battered over the head so
Yes.
many times with our favorite properties and things we've enjoyed and watched them be convoluted and changed right in front
Yep.
of our very eyes from one season to the next.
Yep.
And so it's hard for me to watch stuff and not go, my ears perk up when I see or hear a line, or my eyes open up when I see something happen, like a woman protecting a man in a protective position somehow all of a
Right.
sudden, things like that, like in the Loki series, for instance, right?
Yeah. Things that would never happen in real
It
life.
would never happen, right? So I can't help it, but I do get it. I totally understand. I understand that people are able to watch and enjoy these things, and those things
And
totally just go right.
don't get me
I
wrong,
get it.
that what they showed of the Battle of the Gullet was pretty awesome with the ships and the dragons and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I agree.
Knowing how it plays out and how they got there was a little bit different, but that's okay. Um, and that part of it was awesome, but there's a whole nother part of the battle, and part of me is hopeful that they're going to show it in the next episode, because when the Targaryens and Starks go up against the Lannisters, we need to see that. We need to see the Starks and the Lannisters fighting, and then there's Targaryens and Starks fighting the Lannisters,
I
because
also
that is a massive part of the thing, and you can't leave out what Daemon Targaryen is doing right now. It's super important.
I agree, knowing obviously for not only the future, but obviously, like I said, what I have kind of looked up and tried to study on my own. I I did not. I hate the fact that they had the Lannister head. Um, we didn't really get to see. You know what I mean? Like it's just the warriors
Too
show
many
up.
things happened off camera.
Yes, and I hate when that happens because
Yep.
then it's up to us to fill in the blanks. And I feel like a show like this is important enough, can be important enough, and good enough to
Yep.
give us these moments on camera. Now,
And
look, they're
one other thing
yeah. Go ahead.
that they're going for in this series that they haven't gone into before, and is because Dan and Dave wouldn't do it. They're going hard into the Green Men also. So if you want the supernatural side of Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire, it looks like they're teasing it because they showed this thing. Is it an actual supernatural creature? Is it a cryptid? Is it
Yeah,
actually just
that was
a
fucking
person
weird.
wearing
Okay,
moss with
that shit
horns?
was weird.
Right. Yeah, it is weird, but if you know the story and the three-eyed raven and all that stuff,
Yes,
you can,
yes.
you know that all this supernatural stuff is here, and it's kind of in the background, and they're kind of teasing it, so that piques my interest also.
I had to back it up, okay, because I was sitting there watching, and then I had to go back, do the little 10 seconds backward thing, and I was like, wait, what the fuck was
Yeah.
that? Like, hang on, let me watch this scene again.
Why is the horned goat growling like a wolf?
Yeah, I was like, what is happening here? Like, what
Yeah.
is this? Then the chick comes out, she's like, oh, I'm a witch. Of course we know who she
We
is.
know who she is, yeah.
Right. But nonetheless, yeah, Todd, I get it, right? I totally get it. Only thing Todd's looking forward to is the name reveals tomorrow because that's how bad things are. I totally understand. 3 Star said it didn't hold his attention. I could understand that as well.
Look,
Now he's been down on this show
right,
since
okay,
season
okay.
one, to be
But
honest with you.
but
So,
and if you haven't been
and I
paying
get
close
it.
attention, some of those storylines may miss you up.
Yeah, it's gonna
But
be hard to follow.
the second half of the episode has all the action in it. So I don't know how that's not holding your attention, because the drama and the battle that's going on there is
Yes.
pretty significant.
Yes.
And what is also interesting is the sellsword ship captain that has her vendetta against
Oh.
Corlys Valerian was has been used different pronouns in different seasons.
I
So
don't get. I swear to God, dude. I'm
so they
so glad
used
you brought this shit up.
they used he in the previous one, and they're using she now. So
This is a YouTuber, folks. By the way, this is
which is it?
Philosophy Tube. If you don't know who that is, um, yes, that shit just killed me with the whole pronoun thing, and then just the first scene, the way that it's sitting, legs spread wide open, right? Like, and look, hey, people say, "Oh, it's a sea captain. She's whatever." I don't give a shit. I was like, oh God, come on.
But it makes reference to Theon's sister in Game of Thrones, right?
Yes. And Mother Slug, just so you know, I do have your comment starred, your question starred about the books. I was going to get to that here in a minute once we get to it. So, and just so you know, I didn't want you to think I forgot about it. So, look, I did like it. I can't stand that shit. I will tell you though, because I'm gonna have to go back and watch. I know Corlys. I did not see exactly what happened to Corlys, to be honest with you.
I know, because you weren't really wondering.
You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like, and so I'm gonna have to
Here's a hint. Corlys Valerian dies an old man at the king of his castle at the end of his life, and his son, who's with him in this battle, takes over his position as the leader of that group of sailors.
And you can pretty much see that. Like that's what it was inferred to me, was his son gains the respect, right? Even though everybody's dead around him. I think we know how these tales are told, how these battles are told, right? The people who survive get sung songs about them, so to speak, and gain respect and positions. And so yes, I assume that. It was like, okay, wait, what? Okay, I got to go back and watch that again. But
Yeah, well, so we know that Nettles doesn't have control of her dragon, not Nettles, whatever her name is. I'm going to call her Nettles because that's what she is in the book. And she comes into the battle. She's like, "No, those are our guys," and she's fighting them. And so that this battle between the dragons has to happen. So she causes one of those events to happen.
okay. Yeah, Ulf. Whatever. That shit. I
Yeah,
was just
well,
like,
okay, come on. Ulf is
uh,
awesome, man. I mean, he's just
I,
that
I actually,
guy.
I actually like Ulf.
I wish they'd get on with his story, right? I mean,
That's my thing, right? I'm tired of hearing him bitch and moan and
yeah, get on
complain
with
and
his story.
whine and pitch a bitch, and the other guys are, obviously Corliss's other son is there, like, hey, look, like we were told to wait, let's wait. It's what we're supposed to do. These stories are always about like what people didn't do, the mistakes that are made, right? Like shit like that. But Ulf, he's fine. It's just, yeah, I'm with you. Let's get on with it. Let's get some action on this story. But the pirate gal, yeah, she's trash in my book, and I'm glad she's no longer with us. Justin Booth, 89. What's up, Justin? How you doing, man? Good to see you. And Cypher says, hey, I think Corliss will turn on Rhaenyra. Well, I'll leave that up in the air. I'm not going to spoil anything, and definitely depending on which direction they go, because this season is definitely going to diverge from the books. That's why George has had a big problem with it. That's why he is not really wanting to be affiliated with this show
Yeah,
anymore.
season one took some small liberties that were pretty significant, actually, and then
Hmm.
season two took some major liberties,
Yeah.
and now season three has to really change things to try and make the timelines line up, and it's why George burned bridges and walked off from the property during season two because of how far it's away from what he wrote.
Yeah, he is not thrilled at all about it, and um, but then again, like I don't know, man. He's a weird dude. He's a weird old dude. You
Yeah,
know,
he
I
can't he
don't know.
can't make up his mind what he wants. He can't make up his mind about any of this stuff because he's swayed by popular opinion or the circle of people around him. So,
It's just which way the
which is
wind
why he
blows with
can't
that
finish the
cat.
damn book. He
Legend
because
series,
of
how
this
you
the
doing?
sad puppy incident is why he can't finish the book. What happened to him at the Saturn Awards is why he can't finish the book.
Man, you know what? I think he's just old as shit now, and it's like,
He had it all written out
I
a
can't
decade ago,
do this.
but because of what happened to him at that award show, it really reset his thing. And all he wanted to do was go to the cons and meet all the hot girls, and not write his story. And so he got wrapped up in everything around him, and that's why he'll never finish it because the TV show came out. And so now, why does he have to finish it? The TV show came out, and everybody already has their idea. And so now he can't finish it because it's not going to be anything like that. And then if he goes and finishes it the way he wants to, he's going to get canceled. But guess what? You're an old fucker. Who cares if you get canceled? Because it's over. It's done with anyway. Just finish the darn books.
Yeah,
But he can't.
that's not happening. Legend
Nope.
series, how you doing?
What's
Good to
up?
see you, man. Um, yeah, the scene with Jace, tough stuff there. Hey, he was able to. It was foreshadowing early on, right? Foreshadowing, and then couldn't escape it a second time. Yeah, sell his rights to Disney. Oh yeah, they'll do a great. They'll do any of those properties a great job, as we've seen. Uh, so
Hey, we need more stuff for our boys brand. Oh, wait.
no, they'll just change that.
They will just transition it to a
They've
girls
already
brand.
they've already done it to Game of Thrones. They've already done it to
I
some.
know.
You know
I
what I
know.
mean? Like think of
I
those
know.
first couple of few seasons of Game of Thrones and how sexy and how that was such a big component of the marketing and the talk of it in the magazines and on TV and all that and the Momoa scenes, right, with um, oh shit, Oh my God, her name is right in front of me. How could I forget?
Daenerys Targaryen, just call her
Yes,
that.
but the real actress.
Yeah,
Anyway, whatever. And it was like, oh yeah, it's so hot, and this, that, whatever. And now that's been completely left behind. It's like
yeah,
they don't want anything close. The Sansa stuff that happens with Ramsay Bolton, you know what I mean? Like they don't want to tread that water. They don't want to go anywhere
nope.
near there at all. And so it's really been brought to a softer light, I guess,
Yeah,
when you watch these shows. So yeah, they've already, let alone if Disney got their claws into it. Are you kidding me? Okay, Mother Slug says, curious Pot, when you get a new book, how do you read it? Well, number one, I went to public school in Tennessee, and so I cannot read. So I am relegated to audiobooks, actually. No, I don't read a lot of books, to be honest with you. I never have. If it is something that really excites me, if I'm really interested, then I will make an effort. But to be quite honest with you, and I'm not ashamed to say this, I usually mostly read graphic novels and stuff like that. I really
that's
do
fair.
not read a lot of books, and I never have. It doesn't mean in another life I could not have, but I just don't. So a lot of times I'll look up the information that I need. Clint, Dolly would have sent me a book every year if I had known Dolly. No, she has a wonderful program for books for kids and stuff, and she is a national treasure. She
Absolutely.
absolutely
She's
is.
an amazing woman.
But yeah, just some people are into reading and they love grabbing a book and curling up. I just
You know what?
never was that person.
I think it always comes down to a specific moment in time. If you
I
are at the
believe
right,
that.
if you're at the right mind space and you connect with a book,
Hmm.
and then you're always looking for that connection again. And I will tell you, there are two books that stand out in my mind as a similar time frame of when I read them.
Okay.
Right? It was To Kill a Mockingbird and Star Wars: Heir to the Empire.
Okay.
Um, the Heir to the Empire was a little bit later. To Kill a Mockingbird was obviously first, but To Kill a Mockingbird was one of those first books that really connected with me on such an emotional level. I was reading Edgar Allan Poe at the time, and To Kill a Mockingbird, and then a couple of years later, the Heir to the Empire book came out, and I'm like, this is Star Wars, awesome. And I got to learn this whole new Star Wars tale. And to me, in my mind, the greatest villain of all time is Grand Admiral Thrawn from that book trilogy.
I can't argue.
And it's just a matter of, if you have one of those moments, then it is stuck with you forever, and you just can't put books down.
So I agree with you. It's so funny. It's a couple things that we have talked about tonight that I just recently had conversations about. One of those was earlier talking about analog and like return to whatever. The other one is about books, and I literally just explained this to someone last night at work, and was like, if especially if it was required reading in school, is the
Mm-hmm.
last thing I wanted to do. The last thing I wanted to read was something that I was
Absolutely.
forced to read. I had to read. Now, there are books that I have read. There are books I've read that I have enjoyed. And and I'll be honest with you, usually that's been a situation where I was either laying in bed, and just went all in. And
Yep.
and I'll tell you, the ones I have read in like 2 days.
Yep.
3 days, right? If I'm all in, man, I'll
That's
blow
it.
right through something. So there are ones that I actually have read that I have enjoyed, but I agree with you. I think there's like a moment in time or a moment in your life where there's like these moments, and it's just either strikes you and then
Yep.
you just get hooked on that and you really enjoy doing it, or you don't. And I just never did, and there's far and few between for me. And
Three of my favorite books I was forced to read because of school: 1984,
okay.
Fahrenheit 451, and To Kill a Mockingbird.
It's interesting. And look, I read the classics that you had to read, Death of a Salesman and shit, or whatever, right? To Kill a Mockingbird. I mean, the various ones in school, right? I remember bits and pieces from those, but
The
I've
Great
never,
Gatsby, no, fuck
never,
that
yeah,
book. That
yeah,
book was terrible.
I
The movie,
agree.
the movie was a little
Hated
bit
it.
better, but that book was so bad.
Yeah, it's a pretty pretentious movie. That's the Baz Luhrmann one in particular. Yeah, very visually striking, but holy shit. Okay, a new book with me, says Mother Slug. I always read the last page first, just so I know at some point if I ever finish the book and get sidetracked, I still know how it ends. Smart reading, I call it. That's an interesting way to look at it. I don't know if I would do
I
that.
I will tell you that reading
It's fundamental.
reading the first page of some of these books that I've read in the last decade or so has been why I've continued to read books and get new books, is because the first page of The Martian
Okay,
is fucking hilarious.
that's
Uh,
funny.
you know, it says, "Well, I'm fucked." I mean, that's the first line of the book. Is,
I
"Well,
mean,
I'm
listen,
fucked."
that sounds like a book I'd write. I don't know. Are you sure I didn't put my name on that one? Should I have a pseudonym or whatever? Am I going by a fake name? Yeah, Clint.
Mm,
It didn't start. It didn't start when I was in
yeah.
school. I think that happened after I got out of school for sure.
Lord of
Uh,
the Flies is one that I really don't like, is because it
okay.
tries to assert the position that humanity is inherently evil from the get-go. And we know by actual events that took place with children that were stranded in in an environment that was difficult to survive in, that that's not the way it all played out at all. But as adults, we all have our demons, and we have the thing and the paranoia and all that stuff that comes in.
Sure.
But Lord of the Flies was one of those that didn't connect with me because I don't want to believe that humanity is evil by nature.
I mean, I can understand that. I mean, some would say that that's wishful thinking.
I
You
you
know.
know it is what it is. But you're taking pure innocence and putting it in a tough situation and seeing how they come out. And I don't think it's the same if you do it with adults as you do with children.
See, I'm with Cypher on this one. If I open something up and I start reading, man, I might be out. Like, I mean, literally like a light too. It's like as much as I want to. If I try to kick back and start reading something, I might wake up a couple hours later and be like, "What happened?" Like, and maybe it's just what time it is. A lot of us think about the classic look of kicking back in the bed, opening up a book, and read
Well,
a
I
book.
will say it is proportionally in relation to the amount of brain damage that you sustain during your life. I'm just saying.
Well, in that case, I can't even get past the first two sentences. I'm shit out of luck, nephew. Good God. Um, I do like the Needful Things movie, though, as goofy as it is. I did like that. Sleepwalkers, right?
Sleepwalkers,
Okay,
yeah.
so let's talk a little bit before we finish up about how not to market a movie.
How not to market a movie. This is
I'm
this is a
gonna,
great story, and we've heard it recently, and we're repeating it.
yeah, it's
Rinse and repeat.
fascinating because this keeps happening over and over, and I don't get it. And part of me, and we're talking about Supergirl, okay? Part of me feels like there was a period of time in the last few years where a lot of the reporters would ask questions of the stars of movies, and they would be very leading questions, right?
Yes,
And they usually revolved around LGBTQ shit, right? Okay, I mean they just did,
or whatever.
but
Yeah,
but also around other things like feminism, or as we say, girl bosses, or the reduction of men, or there's no love story or whatever, right? We've heard a million of them. And usually that playbook is not a popular playbook to get people to come see your movie. We've seen it
right.
happen time and time again.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to bring up a few different interviews, stories from Millie Alcock, who is the star of
I
Supergirl.
will just say that if Warner Brothers still existed as a company, that somebody would have pulled what Disney pulled with Rachel Zegler on that
Yeah,
by
I
now.
I don't get this, and I'm just gonna bring up the post here, uh, you know, and the headline, whatever. But quote, for many DC superhero fans, the comment reinforced the growing belief that Hollywood increasingly views portions of its audience with outright contempt, especially more traditional and conservative viewers. That we've seen, especially when
Yeah,
it comes to conservative viewers, is pretty right on the money because basically, when it comes to Christian dads, okay, um, she basically, let's see, how do I put it?
she proves that modern feminism doesn't work.
Okay,
In her statements, like she's proving this is a modern feminist movie. There's no love interest. There's no joy in the movie. There's no women who have any hope, or they're not aspirational at all. They're just sloppy drunks
right.
who get pissed off
Basically,
at everything.
so for
So
her,
yeah, this
there
is why
was
dating isn't happening in this
she,
current generation.
she did a variety interview a little bit ago, and in it, she was talking about the bios of people online. And she was talking about, worrying about anonymous critics of her casting of for the movie. Now, you know, think of whoever gets cast for anything. There's people that are going to have problems. There's people that are going to love it. It doesn't matter. Look, you've got the movie, right? You've got the movie. You're casting it. You're making the money. You're making the film. But she did go on to say a variety that she dismissed people who were critics of her casting, saying they had bios that said "dad of four, Christian." She said that if you're pissing off the right kind of people, then you're doing okay. So a lot of people took that as in her saying, uh, conservative dads, okay, because it's an easy way to take that from a statement like that. I think we've seen, and you probably will agree with me, it is definitely easier right now, especially in Hollywood, but just the mainstream media, to make fun of the Christian religion more than any other religion. You can't really talk bad about most other religions in Hollywood. It's
The
frowned upon.
the Christian religion that shaped all of the new world and all of the
Right.
things that we have right now, that Christian world versus the other religions of the world that have left their nations in utter decay and poverty and repression.
Right.
I mean,
Um,
okay.
so she's also had some comments, and we'll get to the other ones. I'm just kind of hit these up one by one as some of these interviews. Then she had the comments about being objectively stronger than Superman. Quote, I'm going to win, but it's because he's going to let me win because he is, but I'm actually stronger, objectively stronger. Now, I think a comment like that, she's probably just having a little fun, poking a little fun at it, right? He's going to let me win. But what we've seen in part of the marketing of this film is that she's a strong, independent woman slash alien, right? She doesn't really, you know, need anybody. It's okay to be messy. It's okay to be okay with yourself and not really care to improve yourself. That is kind of one of the messaging
You know,
tenets
one
of
of
the
the
marketing of the film.
one of the greatest lines that she said is the greatest villain line of all time. I mean, you don't have to be a hero to anyone else, just to yourself.
Okay, that is true. It's
That's
to
a
me,
villain line.
it is a villain line, which again, if you're going and marketing this film, how do you want to market this movie? Are you trying to be like, as Cypher says, the anti-hero
Look, there's a place
shtick,
for
the
the anti-hero.
deconstruction shtick,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, there's a place for the anti-hero, and the anti-hero is a decent story to tell. That's not what this is. This isn't an anti-hero story. This is another villain origin story that they're trying to present as a hero story, like they did with Monica Rambeau in the MCU, like they did with the Scarlet Witch in the MCU, like they've done with all these characters in the MCU. Is in the latter half of it, they've made all of the heroes villains.
Yes, it's become a pretty tired trope for me. The deconstruction movement has become a tired trope. Um, when it was announced about this film that when she shows up in Superman and she's drunk, right, and
Calls him a bitch.
calls him a bitch, and then we start to see the first marketing for this movie come out where Crypto pisses on a picture of Superman.
Yep.
Um, it just sets the wrong tone in my eyes for people that maybe are excited for this character
Look,
because it's
look.
mostly it's all men who have bought this comic. Let's not
Yep.
kid ourselves.
It's not.
Okay.
No. Yeah, you can't fool yourself on that one. And you degrade Superman so much that his movie is an utter failure, and then you want us to have the person who degraded him the most become the next thing that we support. How does this make sense? A character that most people don't know about or care about, and if they have the Helen Slater version in their mind, and this is not that either. You know,
Yes.
yeah.
So look, getting off on the wrong foot from a marketing aspect, then we find out that the movie again somewhat centers around crypto. Again, um, the fact that James Gunn could not unlock the Superman story until he got his own dog, and then he wrote Crypto, and then all of a sudden it all was able to come out. He was able to write these scripts, or he was able to write these stories based on, and so now we have Crypto, who is very prominent in these two films. Um, Now, this is not supposedly written by James Gunn. It is written by Anna Noguera. However,
Supposedly.
it is very similar. The early reviews have come out. It's very similar to a Guardians of the Galaxy type found family
Didn't we
storyline.
didn't we call this? Didn't we say this from every
Yes,
image that we've ever seen, from every
every
trailer
s
that we've ever seen?
absolutely.
That we said this is the James Gunniest James Gunn movie.
Now, Millie Alcock has also made waves in the month of June
Hmm.
for some other comments. And I've got a couple little quick interviews here. This one is from, I believe, a Spanish, some variety, but we'll play it and you guys can kind of hear, I think, her response here.
You heard from the fans, specifically from the LGBT community, about how they've been able to relate to your character.
I've just had a few people ask me about her and about her because it's Pride Month and all that, and I think that she's a really great representation of what a modern woman can be. She can be strong, she can be tough, she can be messy, and I love how this film doesn't center around any sort of love. It doesn't center
No
around
love.
Okay, so
No,
so
no
there's no
love.
man. We don't
No
need no
man.
man.
No man, no
The
love.
and now is
This
she
is the
saying
modern
that the
woman.
LGBT community doesn't have love?
She
There's no
she
love. What I don't even understand what this
she's
comment
saying that
means.
this is the standard for modern women.
This is
That
modern women,
that you don't need a man, you don't need
right?
love, you don't need anything but yourself.
Okay, now, and we've seen this message for quite some time now. We've seen it for several years. It is it's why you do not see a lot of romantic scenes in a lot of movies now. You definitely don't see women, pining over men or traditional relationship roles in movies. Um, it's This is very common these days.
Yep.
Even though women enjoy those types of stories, women enjoy love stories, women enjoy traditional
Really?
male
I mean,
female
isn't there
model
a whole channel called the
relationships.
Hallmark Channel that's based off of this? And
Absolutely, and it's extremely fucking popular. So
Very.
let's finish this one up, and then I do have the other one, the Spanish one as well after this. So we'll finish this one up.
I
really
love
quickly.
when actors
Romance.
and actresses were trained on how to deal with the media.
Oh, it's unbelievable, and you've got to imagine too, her PR and the studio, and you've got to imagine they're sitting there and they're just like, what are you doing? Like, stop it, or they're so entrenched in this line of thinking that they're cheering her on. I think these questions are very leading a lot of times.
Of
or
course they
anything
are.
like that at all. And she has such resilience that I think that community is a community that is so resilient, and they can really relate to that in that. And I'm really honored that they can connect with her.
I'm tired of hearing about this community that's so resilient. They're people. They're fucking people like everybody else. Everybody's resilient. I don't understand.
I love the other actresses' response to all of those types of questions. I think this movie's for everyone. Look at all these men out here, and they're enjoying it. And why can't everyone enjoy this? And if people find their own meaning in it, that's awesome. I love it. Let's keep that up. I mean, you look at Matt Smith talking about House of the Dragon and how he responded to that, and fans. He talked about fans in particular because he knows from Doctor Who and everything else what that means to people. And you, as an actor, are an empty vessel. You have to be whatever we want you to be. And that's unfortunate for them because they have no soul of their own now because they've given it over. But at the same time, when you're in front of a crowd of people, you don't know what each one of those people thinks about you or your character or how they are confusing the two. And you have to be nice, kind, and polite, but don't overstep your bounds and say a bunch of bullshit that puts you on one side or the other of an argument. All that does is create a division and animosity.
And I think again, like this one in particular, again, is another one that's like, look, if you're trying to get people to come out, watch your movie. And some people say, oh, well, in the spirit of things, she's just being supportive and positive. But
she went a little overboard.
But these comments right here, for some people, definitely way overboard.
Over the years, many fans have embraced Supergirl as a queer icon. What do you think?
Can I ask you a question really quickly? Who has embraced Supergirl as a queer icon?
Who? Yeah, all I know
I don't
is
understand that.
There's a bunch of horny teenagers that collected Supergirl comments because she wore a short skirt and flew above everybody else, right? Because they're looking for the panty shot, right? I mean,
I don't understand though. Like, it's over the years, many fans have embraced Supergirl as a queer icon. Who? I don't ever, other up until recently, where DC decided to make all of their characters gay in some shape, form, or fashion.
Right.
You know, I never heard that. It's fascinating. So let's continue this really, really quickly.
It's about care that inspires that kind of connection. I think I played a few characters that might have a potential queer through line. I have many queer friends, so honestly, I'm kind of honored. I'm honored that that's happening. But I think because she doesn't live inside the binary of what we think a woman should be, that is what makes her so special and so exciting and so new. And yeah, I kind of thought that as well. I was like, she'd do what she'd want to do in that regard anyway. But yeah, thank you.
Okay. So
she is drunk off her ass and doesn't know what the hell she's even saying.
Absolutely. And then there's one more. If I can find it, I'll see if I can find it really quickly. But basically, she says that Supergirl would definitely probably goes both ways.
Yeah.
She's into chicks. She's an alien. She'd probably do whatever she wants to do. Yada yada yada. Okay, so all right, look, I get it. I think a lot of times these questions are very leading. I
Yeah.
think a lot of times these reporters know exactly what they're doing, and they're hoping to get a soundbite of some kind.
Well, and that's the thing, is that that's all it is. And if they had pulled what these other people had done and redirected the question to saying, I think this movie's for everybody. I'm so happy that people are connecting with it. And any way that you can connect with this movie, I'm super excited for it. Come see it, check it out, tell us what you think and how you connect with it, or whatever.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's the response that you need to take when they throw these bullshit leading questions at you to try and trap you into a statement.
It's and the thing of it is they keep falling for it. But my thing now is it's not falling for it.
No, it's not.
At this point, it's expected.
Right.
It's it's coming, and I believe they look forward to it. And the problem is when you allow the star in particular of your movie to go out and just say whatever, if in fact this is how they think, you are going to not sell as many tickets as you could if they were talking about the same things you just said a couple minutes ago about how you would want people to approach this film, and you want people to come see it, and you think it's gonna be fun, and I want them to come have a fun superhero romp, with Supergirl in this movie, right?
If you're going to placate to 3% of the audience, you're going to get less than that showing
Absolutely.
up.
Well, we've seen, because they don't show up. They don't
show up.
Right?
Because
they don't show up for these films.
It's the outspoken people that are in this thing are only in it for the sound bites, and they don't care to go see these things. They don't care to support these things. They don't spend money on these things.
Now let's see how Matt Smith handles.
Yeah, this is awesome.
This.
I appreciate
absolutely.
him.
It's all about the fans. That's why we're here. That's why we go and work in Neeson for 8 months a year. It's it's never going to appeal to everyone. Everyone has their own opinion, particularly on George's work. But for me personally, it's their show. We make it, we do all that work, and then we hand it over. And I hope it delivers on the scale that that we want it to for them. If it does, if it doesn't, who knows? Only time will tell. But absolutely, it's completely about the fans. It's their show. Oh,
there you go. That's it. That's how you do it.
That's it. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. And while I say it's probably not the fan show because they're deviating from the book so much, but at the same time, I appreciate where he's coming from, and what he's conveying in that message right there is, come watch it, come check it out. We're working really hard on it. We've enjoyed working on this.
We hope you do.
We hope you do too.
Like, right?
Yeah.
A couple comments really quickly. Todd C says, "Will this lead to a legion of superheroes movie?"
No,
I don't think it's leading to shit. To be honest,
it's going to sink the DC universe. So James Gunn's going to get fired, and he kind of knows it at this point.
It's
because the reshoots that they've had to do to reincorporate Corn Sweat into this movie that he wasn't supposed to be a part of, and how they've inserted him into this movie now. And change some things. That's going to be rough on this movie.
So look, Todd. Last week it was tracking in the $50 million range. It is sunk now to around $40 million.
Yeah,
maybe 30.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Opening weekend, I don't think it's going to hit $100 million. I'm not even sure this film will do $300 million when it's all said and done.
It's going to be. I mean, if we're talking international box office too, it's going to be close. It's going to be close.
I don't know, dude. I don't know if it's going to hit $300 million. I
don't know.
Don't know if it will. But nonetheless, I think the damage is done.
Yep.
I think that the marketing has been for shit. As Mother Slug says, never looked at Supergirl and thought, damn, she's hot. I mean, look, there's people that
That's fine.
There's people that have. Whatever. I don't care. It's just, again, I think it's how to not market your movie. And we've seen it time and time again, over and over. And you'd think...
You think about how she was drawn when she was wearing the half-cut T-shirt and miniskirt with the cape. That was her costume. for quite a long time. So her belly was showing, and her breasts were accentuated, and she was wearing a mini skirt. That's how she was drawn on purpose, because they knew who was buying those comics.
And that's who still buys comics. I mean, that's the reality of the situation. Like, you can pander to whatever group you want to, but, you know, you break those sales down and your demographic is still roughly the same. It's a lot smaller now, right?
Yeah.
In comic book purchases, it's a lot smaller, but roughly the demographic is somewhat the same. A bit older nowadays, but, you know, still the same people, so to speak. Justin Booth said they're just verifying everything you two and Chad have been saying for the past month or so. If you go woke, you go broke. I mean, look, it's proven time and time again, man.
Again and again
it's
and again.
Just proven time and time again. And 3-star, I will talk to you tomorrow. I got a stream with you.
Good night, 3-star.
Good night. Let's see. Picture you just start acting, and this is your first film, and now your career is over. Like, what were they thinking or promised? Yeah, and look, I thought she was fine in House of the Dragon. I thought she did a fine job. Look, I don't think she's ugly. Look, I've watched a lot of these AI videos of her, or at least, you know, compared to the feral kid from the Mad Max shit. Look, you know, it's overboard. I did agree.
I mean, she kind of has a 5 head. I mean,
she does. But I will tell you this: I was watching the Film Threat versus stream today or last night on my way to work, and Robert Meyer Burnett, they were showing a bunch of those AI videos. Okay.
Oh gosh.
And if you guys haven't seen them, they are pretty funny. They are funny, and you can't help but laugh because it's goofy, goofy stuff. But anyway, so and Robert Meyer Burnett was like, well, you know, it kind of diminishes our not ability, it diminishes our credibility as critics when we're sitting here, like, you know, laughing and showing these AI videos that are just making fun of her face and make her look like a feral child. Although he did say the actor who portrayed that guy stole his day planner from his comic shop one day. So he said, fuck that guy. He literally stole his day planner. So, but like I said, if some of y'all have not seen, let's see, I don't even know how to, I was going to try to pull one up, because it's the dumbest shit ever. But, like, I don't even know how to find them because I didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I tried to look quickly. I gave it a good run. But anyway.
I don't, Justin Booth, I don't think it's a Ruby Rose nuking of her career. It's not like that. It's more of a Rachel Zegler. She needs a talking to type of thing.
This is not the AI. It's the Land of the Lost. Isn't that Land of the Lost?
Yep.
Oh God! So that's what's been going around. Okay, this is what's been going around the internet. And I mean, look, this shit is funny. I'm not gonna lie,
that's pretty good.
I do understand what Robert Meyer Burnett is saying when he says it does diminish the credibility of a critic when you're laughing about that, right? But is that not fucking amazing, you guys? Like, truly. I'm sorry. Holy shit. But look, when you say stupid shit like that, you win stupid prizes, and then you end up ultimately having little made of you like that. And so, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, yeah, it is a 5 head. Let's not kid ourselves. Shaka. It's Shaka. That's right. Shaka from Land of the Lost. It's terrible, man. Stop it. Stop it, Matthew. Why do you show stuff like this on the show, Matthew? I don't know why you do this to me. You're just terrible. Jesus.
Just trying to make you laugh, and look, it worked.
Yeah. Anyway, so really quickly, did you guys hear about the Doomsday? I'm not going to show it. Did you guys hear about the Doomsday leaked footage out there? If you did, it's probably real because they really worked
Looks
hard
like
to
it's
take it all
real.
down. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty real.
Worked really hard to take it all down. But there was leaked doomsday footage, and it's pretty and even the media that I pulled it from has now been disabled. I've got another one here. I'm not going to show it, but I'm looking at it. It shows Sentinels. It shows, Steve Rogers and Thor. It shows Doctor Doom igniting the Sentinels. I think this is the moment that he turns on everybody, is what it kind of looks like. And you see some of the heroes in that classic Avengers symbol where they circle the camera around to all the heroes. And so if you haven't seen that, if you don't want to see it, don't look it up. If you do want to see it, just go to X. You can find it there. Just search on X. You'll find the footage in some shape, form, or fashion. And it's about 72 seconds. Well, this one's 59 seconds. And it's definitely a major scene from Doomsday. It appears to be. Some of the CGI is not quite fully finished.
Sure, but you get the idea of what they're trying to do with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Doom is definitely they've widened the eyes on the mask so you can tell that it's Downey Jr. And giving him that ability to act behind the mask. It's some cool footage. I mean, Sentinels climbing up and eyes glowing green, and it's pretty cool.
It is interesting and shouldn't be discounted because it seems very legit that is part of the storyline that they're
sure.
And most people understood that that's Jean Grey and that's kind of the main person for this movie,
right?
So putting the Sentinels in there kind of ties everything together to a degree, but how far they're going to go with it, we'll see.
Yeah. Lukewarm about the leaks, says Stanley. Yeah. I think this film, two different fan bases. I think Masters of the Universe could be seen as a way to get that out in the zeitgeist, even though they didn't plan on making any money. They want to make money, but maybe it's just a way to get it out there and then see what they can do with it.
I wonder
if reignite passion back into the MCU, because it's what they do after this that matters.
And from what I've heard, they aren't doing what everybody wants, so we'll see.
Well, they haven't in a while.
Well, but so anybody who thinks that they've changed direction or learned a lesson, they have not.
Yeah, no, I agree. But hey, Kevin Feige wanted to make sure they did more female heroes and go in that direction, and it didn't work out so well. So who knows? But anyway, so look that footage up if you want to. I'm not going to show it because I don't want to get burned.
We will get dinged
I'm
for it.
sure off of that, especially. The MCU stuff, I mean, there was a time where it was must-see movies, right? I mean, you had to go to the movies.
Yeah.
I enjoyed going to those movies, and it's a damn shame kind of what's happened there. So, I don't know. We'll see what they can do with it, but, check that out. Leather Slug, I get it. I mean, the old stuff, the classics, I mean, that is the best stuff, but that part of that's looking through rose-colored, rose-tinted glasses and nostalgia, but that
absolutely
made movies a different way back then.
Well, and I will go back to Douglas Adams' statement in 1980, and media is interactive. Media is personal. Now, media is where is the integrity? Authenticity is the new currency, is essentially what came from that. And he predicted this in 1980. He saw the media change happening so fast that the scripted entertainment stuff is not going to be what moves the next generation. And although we loved it and we have nostalgia for it and it has great value and merit, as do all literary stories. So these visual mediums are no different. It's just, it's in a visual auditory medium. So there's a different level to absorb them in. We have 100 years of an incredible storytelling that took place in this medium. And we've had thousands of years in written text. And now the new medium is this personal interaction, this personal engagement that we're having with you in the chat right now, that other YouTubers are doing and being successful with. Scripted entertainment has become niche. It has become an anachronism. It has become going to the symphony. It has become going to a play. It is not something that everybody will do going forward. It is something that the aristocracy or the I said it earlier, the posh people are going to do, right? They're going to go see movies. Oh.
It already feels that way. I saw
right.
We stopped at a store the other night. It was CVS, actually, and there was a mom with like 5 kids or something like that, maybe 6, I don't know, picking out candy. And I could tell they were going to the movie theater that's like not far from where CVS was. And I was like, oh, God, it's after matinee time. Like, she's literally about to go spend $120.
That's why they're buying candy at the CVS.
Holy
why do they go to the
shit.
CVS? Why not go to the Walmart? Come on, get the big bags. Get the big bags.
I get it. Excuse me. I get it. But they're probably just like, oh, crap.
But CVS is cheaper than movie prices.
So whatever. Wherever you get it, But, yeah, she had a carload full. That's for sure. Yeah. And then don't do that hand swat again. Hey. War Chest, you made it right at the ass end of the show. I will tell you, yes, boys and girls, I am tired. Got a stream tomorrow night with my cousin, 3-Star Draw, on his channel. We do Sevens Wild. It's kind of a stream before Joe Fest. We'll talk about the reveal today of the really weird ass figure that I just don't really know.
I'm telling you, give him a guitar and a microphone, and you got yourself something going on there.
Yeah, that shit would look weird though, dude.
So weird.
I'm like, what in the hell are we doing now? So we'll talk about that. It's G.I. Joe centric show. So you guys, if you want to hear about us, 3-Star Draw and myself, talk about G.I. Joe and also the name reveals and whatever else we get tomorrow as well for Yojo June, leading up to this weekend for in Augusta at Joe Fest. And we'll be doing that tomorrow night on his channel at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Matthew, these people need to check out your pictures on Instagram.
Check them out
for sure.
Yeah, appreciate
pictures, it. Like I said, the ones behind us here. You have those on Instagram, by the way.
So yeah, this one was posted yesterday.
Very good.
And then I posted a Don Moreno picture today from a comic book cover from a while ago that I've been wanting to do, and had to wait till the figure came out. And then I've got stuff every day, so check those out. And got more and more collabs coming all the time.
Oh, and you know what? There's something that I didn't even do, and I can't believe it. And let me see. I don't even know where the hell to find it, to be honest with you. I haven't had our names on the screen the entire time. Like, isn't that wild? I didn't even think about it. And I know it's on here somewhere, and it's like, you go to try to like search for it, right? And I'm like, where is all that stuff? Where do you put that stuff?
War Chest, are you talking about the one that's on the background right now?
That's the
Elric
figure, right? Yeah. Here, I'll pull us off really quickly so you guys can check this picture real quick.
So
just one of the many photos that Matthew
has. So that's Elric, and it's a couple different versions of it, and the two guys in the back are actually holding blind bag extra swords that are Excalibur, actually, because I don't have the Morbus Claymores that I wanted them to have, because I only have one of those. I need one more. But no, that's a figure from Savage Crucible, and they made more of that figure than they have from any other single figure that they have ever produced, and they're still getting shit about it because they didn't make enough.
Exactly. So there, take
And
that.
and anybody who missed the pre-order, unfortunately, didn't get a chance to get them, and they're not going to do a rerun of this figure because the people that want him or say that they want him doesn't even come close to 10% of the minimum order quantity of figures that they would have to make.
So he's talking about that G.I. Joe figure that they had got. Like, look, you got me, brother. All I know, that G.I. Joe figure that got revealed that I saw today.
Oh yeah.
That thing, whatever that is.
No, yeah.
I don't. It's not my thing. I ain't
It's
gonna lie.
That's a new character, a new figure.
Whack.
It is something that they made up for Classified, and they haven't revealed it until today. Nobody that I know has even seen this thing until today. Now, probably Chris McLeod has, but other than that, nobody's seen it except for the people that made it.
So let's see here really quickly because that 3-star sent it to me. It's got the name on it. I'd already forgotten the name by now. It's called Axel Soma Synapse. Axel Synapse Soma. And I got to be honest with you guys, but I'm not gonna lie to you, man. This shit looks dumb as hell.
His last name is Soma.
Yes.
As in body.
Soma.
Yeah. So that's like Latin for body.
Synapse. I ain't gonna lie to you. This shit looks dumb as shit. I ain't gonna lie. I think it looks stupid as hell. I'm gonna pull a Crimson Cobra Commander on y'all's ass, and I'm gonna hold my phone up.
Yeah,
it's Triple C. What's up? All right.
If you can't see nothing on that, so if you guys
you
want,
can't see shit.
if you guys want a heavy metal icon from 1982, this might be your thing. If you want a cyberpunk heavy metal band, then this might be your thing. You might need to get 4 of these guys and put guitars and microphones and drum sets in their hands and see what you do with them, because this looks like a skinnier buck. It's really strange what they did with the legs, and people are saying
it's wacko, Matthew.
People are saying
wacko.
that crotch to torso is going to be reused for Headman, and I can see that, but you got to do something way different with those legs, because some people are saying this is like David Bowie, that they resurrected David Bowie here and made him a cyborg to do this, and I go, David Bowie would look better than that as a cyborg. I'm just saying. No, this is
absolute. You guys, y'all are killing me. This shit looks stupid. Absolute ass. Glad I stopped buying Classified. I'm all good. This fig is whack. Mother Slug, take it easy. We'll see you next week, brother. Appreciate it. The rifle is cool. Yeah, I mean, look, different rifle, right? But I just don't.
The rifle doesn't make sense. There's no physics to that rifle.
It's like a Fallout gun, and then look,
it's not even that. I mean, there's
no
physics that makes sense in that rifle.
We have the hand with the eyeball. We have the backpack that has the other hand that I guess holds the. I don't know.
No, it's just another hand for him to articulate out and have a third arm.
No, I get it, right? Right, and then, but I don't.
The grappling hook hand and
living hell. This is supposed to be.
On Circle of Jerks, they kind of pointed this out that chain hand thing that's there, that pops into you. You take the hand off and you plug that in, so it's supposed to be like a hand that he launches at something, right? It comes off of his arm or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah, whatever.
I don't get it.
That shit is stupid, dude. I'm sorry. I'm like, what is this?
and they're trying to be punk rock or something. I think it fails on that level because it doesn't make sense to me, and that's fine. It is whatever.
This looks like one of those.
They're trying to
This looks
prove
like
that
one of those
everything belongs to G.I. Joe.
AI Star Wars videos, slop shit that these people have been making lately.
When this picture first
Darth
dropped,
Malgus or some shit.
when this picture first dropped, no one believed it. Everybody thought it was fake AI bullshit.
I believe it. I totally believe it.
Until the Full Force posted it, and then they're like, "Oh, this is legit. Oh, this is what we're actually getting." But people made up their own versions and their own renders of it that are so much better. I mean, you look at this whole Mad Max thing and everything else that people have done with it.
I don't even want this.
Wow. There's a lot to unpack there, War Chest.
There's a lot to unpack there. 13th Assassin has a really good one there. Marilyn Manson goes metallic. Now we know why Liddy left. Lady Virgo, what's up? Lady Virgo, what you think about this figure right here? What do you think about this? This looks I just don't know about this.
What was it? Vic was Megadeth's mascot in the early 80s, and I was thinking this harkens back to Vic, right? It's that robot thing or whatever, Psychotron.
This is just like, I'm just curious. Like, I want to know who it was that designed this figure. I want to know
Lenny,
who it was that was like, and got this approved, because this had to go through so many people.
Lenny,
I guess. Oh,
I mean, you're gonna go to Joe Fest, so you can sure ask him.
You know he's gonna get asked that, Matthew, right?
Of course. Well, go ask him. You go ask him himself. You're gonna be there.
Lady Virgo, gonna get it once it goes on clearance. I heard that. I don't blame you, girl. I don't blame you for everything on clearance at this point. To be quite honest with you, it's gotten cost wise.
So that Dusty figure is the worst decision they've ever made. I think that Dusty,
it's fucking bad, man.
That Dusty figure is a demarcation point for a lot of people.
Shit, man. And I can understand.
And it sucks because that's my favorite version of Dusty. I love that version of Dusty.
I get it.
And what they did to the character, and then what they did to that damn coyote, and then you make it a price point. That price point is fucking ridiculous. It's nuts for the quality that you're getting and the fucking lazy ass reuse that you're using on that damn coyote. You sculpted a new body and a new head, but the fucking legs are Order's legs.
Pleasure Island.
You fucked up the coyote.
Yeah,
you couldn't even give us two distinct heads. Those heads are too close. Now I understand there are subtle differences where one is curious and one is slightly more aggressive, but you needed a curious and a super aggressive version of it, because the original Sandstorm had his ears back and his teeth bared and was a super aggressive coyote. Why do we not have that version?
Oh my god. Some of these comments are you killing me.
It's awesome. Love it.
Oh my god, I love it. Oh my god. Better chance to be buying a Wakanda Forever figure. The Shuricopter. Go get the Shuricopter. There's no way. There's no way, Cypher. It's not possible. Like, there's no way that's going to be a top. I just can't. I can't believe. In my heart of hearts, I cannot believe that. And if it is, I'll eat my words. But I think, like you said, the line of demarcation with the Dusty figure and now like this, and I think people are questioning. They're like, all right, we got the OG 13, like, now I'm out, right?
No,
people got that OG 13. They said, I'm done.
No, there are plenty of people that still want some of the stuff that they've been teasing for a while, and a lot of people were saying they're out since Lenny's gone. Okay, but do you realize that Lenny still created figures for the next year to year and a half?
I know. I know. No, they got at least 18 months worth of shit in the pipeline. I mean,
that he's already worked on. Now, how that changes, that changes from what he did to what actually gets produced. A lot of things can happen in between there.
All right, Stanley asked a good question. He says, "This Falcon or the 5 movie figures?" You talking about the Snake Eyes? Oh my God! At least those figures have some redeeming qualities, right? You can take the heads off of them, or
Stanley. There is no contest that this is far worse than any of those things, because
I agree.
I took a Peter Parker head from the 2-pack, the Lovers 2-pack Spider-Man, and I put that on that Falcon, and it works great. And that's my Falcon of that version. So you could just do a head swap. That one's easy to fix. The 5 movie figures, you know what? That's Snake Eyes and that Storm Shadow and that Scarlet are pretty decent figures. The Akiko, not as much. The Baroness is not bad either. So you've got good figures. And My first torpedo that I made was from that Snake Eyes body, but the unmasked heads that they used for Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow in that set are really good, and they can be used for all kinds of stuff.
That's what I said. I think there's redeeming qualities with those movie figures.
Falcon, and the sword.
I agree.
Snake Eyes sword.
This is worse than all of those in my opinion. I agree. And War Chest also says somebody at Hasbro must absolutely hate Dusty. Dr. Moreau's Island definitely has that. It's hideous. I mean, it's bad stuff, right? It's bad news. It looks hideous.
Funniest comment was, it looks like that Coyote is wearing a tank top and has got some steroids going on, because he's jacked.
Yeah, it's bad news, and I canceled my pre-order after that. I said,
screw that. The price point alone is bad.
I agree. But Lady Virgo, hey, rock and roll. Let's go. Let's get to 300. Let's get it. I will be making some content at Joe Fest. I'll be putting some videos out, putting some stuff. Got the 360 cam like last year with me again this year. So I'll do some of that stuff. I'll kind of live stream from the floor a couple times, go live, and walk around a little bit and whatever. So I'll be doing some content at Joe Fest. You guys are just hanging out this weekend, and you're not there. Just keep the notification bell on, because I will be going live randomly and showing off some stuff from Joe Fest, because it's fun for me to do. I like hanging out with everybody there and everything, but I do kind of like breaking off and kind of doing my own thing for a little bit, and not necessarily just having to be in a group with everybody. I like to be like, hey man, you guys do your thing. I'm gonna walk around, check everything out, and take some pictures and take some video. So I'll be doing that for sure this weekend. Yeah, one of the worst classifieds to date. I can't argue with that, Cypher. 20 minutes ago we were signing off, but we are now, because I actually really do need to. Pics. I'll be posting that stuff on Instagram, but also on YouTube, putting up some pictures and all that stuff. And War Chest will be here tomorrow, rock and roll in St. Louis now. And Clint, I know, right? It's a running joke. I looked for Clint for like 2 hours. I could not find him, and everywhere I turned, somebody's like, "Oh, he was just right over there. He was at that table." And I go over there, and it's like, I think he's back. I just saw him in the hallway. It's like 2 hours I ran around looking for him, and I never saw him again. I swear, I'm not kidding. This year, we're changing that shit. I will have my hat on, so I'll be pretty easy to spot. That's for sure. However, I am not a big deal, like some people we know. So therefore,
who's got all the backstage stuff? So if you know Punk, just go hang out next to him, and he'll just walk you backstage. Apparently,
take you back there.
You can get all the stuff earlier, before even early access, right? Because Ed's just going to let him in.
He even has access to craft services. Who knew?
Craft service. He's part of the union. That's why he works in Michigan, so he's part of the union. That's got to be what it is.
I knew it. Son of a bitch. I'm missing out. I will leave you guys with one thing. Just recently, I've rediscovered my love for Tim and Eric. Awesome show. Great job. From Adult Swim 20 years ago. I encourage you, go look up Tim and Eric on YouTube and watch some of the wackiest, weirdest, strangest comedy that you'll ever see in your life. I'll leave you guys with that. All right, so tomorrow night, 3-star draw, 9 p.m. Eastern on his channel, Seven's Wild. We'll be hanging out talking. So if you guys get a chance, come hang out with us tomorrow night over there on his channel. And Matthew, I will see you next Tuesday, and I'll give my breakdown of Joe Fest, like you gave your breakdown of DFW. So we'll show a few pictures and stuff like that, maybe a little video. Look, really appreciate you guys so much. Come back next Tuesday, and we'll do it all again. And until then, y'all have a great week and a great weekend. Appreciate it. Peace.